Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here on Sunday, January 27th, here with the Pickdawgz Morning Show, man. Hey, we got a ton of action today. We got a million college basketball games. Who has the actual number? I forgot.
I think it was 154.
154 college hoops games today. We got a solid NBA card. There's some NHL, some money making Saturday, man. I'm here with the guys, here with the crew. Y'all know what we do, man. Finna cook up mostly a lot of the games on the card today. So without further ado, let's do that. Mitch, what's happening?
Nothing, man. Locked and loaded for college basketball once again. I got a bunch of NBA into, so I'm excited. Last Saturday it was 11-2, I believe, in college hoops, and I also had another 11-2 day on Thursday in college hoops. And I tell you what, man, today's card is just sets up to be the exact same thing, man. Just a lot of sharp chaser lines in there, just creating value on the other side. You see, actually, lines going down in games where the line was already low to begin with. Kind of like the Tennessee Martin game that we saw on Thursday, where the line went from 13.5 down to 10 by game time. They won by about 50. And I think we see a lot of those games today. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. Costi, what's happening?
Just winding down the hours till game time. Couldn't be in a better place, a safe place, which is this show, where I could just focus on making money today and not thinking about the game tomorrow. But what a big day on the board today. I feel like every week they're rising. Like last week was 144. Now there's 153. I feel like next week there's going to be 170. They just keep them. The number just keeps getting bigger on the college basketball Saturday board. But it's exciting, man. It should be a great card.
Sir. David, what's happening?
Not much. I'm also counting down the hours till Lions kickoff tomorrow. Very excited for that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big Al McMorty, how you doing today?
Not bad. No complaints. Yeah, it's a great football weekend. I'm excited for Detroit, excited for Baltimore, excited for some good games. So, yeah, looking forward to that today. A lot of games for me. I've got 14 plays today, including my SWAC game of the year and my Big 12 game of the month.
There you go. Big 12 play. I'm interested to know which
all my games are game of the month, man. Every game I ever give out. I don't have any that I label like that, but I give them all out. They're all game of the year and game of the month. I bet them all hard and heavy, man.
Jovan, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Jay? Yeah, just like Mitch said, this is gonna shape up to be one of those colossal Saturdays as far as I'm concerned, because I feel strongly about a lot of plays, and not to say I haven't felt strongly about plays on other Saturdays, but there's a lot of plays where it's like it all lines up. Let's just say that.
I think so too. Today, I was thoroughly surprised with the college hoops card. I was having to wither down. I almost had like 15 plays in college hoops today.
Yeah, 15 would be light for me today. I think I'm at about 18 or 19.
Yeah, I know. I think I have 9 or 10. So it's one of those days. Rod, what's happening? Mute it.
My freight train furnace kicked on, so I live up in Canada, so I muted myself. I was trying to keep the freight train furnace from interfering with the show. So, but doing good for me. I had to shave. I hit a little bump in the road where I wasn't doing so good. I wanted to kick off 2024 with the new fresh shaved look, but we were on such a heater going into 2024. It's like you don't want to jinx yourself. So I was like, I don't want to jinx myself on a heater and I shave it. So I was like,
I'm going to ask a question that everybody has been asking, and I think we need to address it. Did you shave everything? Like is it just a complete
everything
body
except the eyebrows. You can't shave your eyebrows off. You know what it would be like if you shaved your eyebrows off?
We don't need to see proof. We don't need to see proof.
Are you sure?
We just want to know.
Let's put it this way: the wife's happy. She's like, "Yeah!" So things are going good over here. Can't complain. 2024. I'm excited. Massive card today, and yes, there is like 14 hockey as well included in that pile of 154 hoops as well. So. I knew Oilers was won 15 straight.
Yes, sir. Money making Saturday. Me 2-1 on the premium side, but it didn't go how I wanted it to go. It didn't. I had my Mavs. Shout out Luka, 73. You know, oh my God, he on the wall for a reason. I just want y'all to know that. He's him. With the Raptors, they're terrible. And I probably will
they packed it in, man. They traded their best two players. I mean, they announced to the world, we don't care. It's like
Raptors are number 6 on that list there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they came out and made a statement. We're going to trade any one thing that's not tied down, except for Scotty Barnes. Like, we don't care.
That was the perfect situation. They just didn't show up. Oh, well. Got a lot of action today, fellas. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Oh, and Thunder Buddies for life. Thunder Buddies for life.
The Phoenix Suns don't deserve to live, but that's okay.
Yeah. Booker, huge game. And, you know, every time he goes off, they lose.
They lose.
But that wasn't a game like where they were trailing and like, you know, he was just playing and like nobody else could do anything. It's like they were up big. They were covering the whole game. The whole game they were covering until the last minute.
Yep. NBA. All right, fellas. Let's break down this college hoops card. We'll get to NBA after that. Let me get to where we need to be.
Gotta use.
All right. Let's go from, we're going to go Eastern time. So let's go from noon. We'll do the noon through 1. So we'll stop at Iowa State, Kansas. Mitch, what you got for me here?
My mouse is out, so let me get the matchups up. I'll just pick one from the bunch. There's so many good games here. God, I don't even. It's like we can
come back to you.
No, it's okay. There's a few landmines in here for sure. In this spot, you want to certainly tiptoe around it, but there's also some pretty low hanging fruit here as well. So I think, you know, in that game, that Iowa State, Kansas, I'll just go there. I just think this is one of those spots. I definitely think Iowa State wins. I think the line's getting a little high. I liked Iowa State initially, but I think at 4.5, this is probably like a 2-3 point game. I think it comes right down to the end. I think Kansas has a shot late and they don't get it, but I think Iowa State comes out hot. I like the way that Iowa State has played. I mean, tournament team the last 2 years, Sweet 16 2 years ago. Definitely, you know, a coach and a program going in the right direction. They've been far from perfect, but at home against Kansas, it's kind of like when Kansas comes to town, it's like when Kentucky comes to town, when the Yankees come to town, when the Cowboys come to town, when it's just everything's just a little bit elevated. When Notre Dame comes to town, it's just a little bit elevated, you know. And I just think that that's the type of crowd they have today in Ames. And I think that I think Iowa State wins the game, but I think at 4.5. It's a little too high for me. I'm going to take Kansas. Initially, I had Iowa State, but I just think the line's gotten out of hand.
Fair. Wow.
It's you have a team that's basically, a lot of people probably thought they were going to get a good value on as a dog, the public bettors, you know, that actually comes out favored. And now it's like, it's even going higher. It's like, I don't love it there.
I can understand that reasoning. I told you the other day, though. I give Iowa State like 4 points every time I see them at home.
But I've been on Iowa State for years, and it's like I just don't think, you know, we've been following them for years on this show, and it's like I just think that in this case, I like Iowa State. They probably win the game. I just think it's a 1 or 2 or 3 point game. 4.5 is like against Kansas. Freaking Kansas, man. Kansas, the only head coach in the history of Kansas to have a losing record. James Naismith, the guy who invented the game. Man, these guys win, and win. It's like,
yes, sir. Costa, what you got for us here?
In that time slot at 1 o'clock, I'm looking at Marquette. The when they win at home, they cover. The last 3 that they actually win outright, they cover. So I'm not worried about laying the 9.5. Seton Hall is just horrible. They're not a good team this year. They don't have the recruits like they've had of old. And Marquette has lost 5 times. 4 of the times have been on the road. So they really do well at home. And I'm just a big proponent of Saturdays. I always look at the home teams more so than any other day because it's just that wild Saturday with a huge board. So this isn't a game that I released today. It's just in that early slot. This is one that I leaned on. Was Marquette laying 9.5.
David, what you got for me here?
I'm looking at Nebraska, Maryland. Maryland comes in 5.5 point favorite, and I like them here. Nebraska has been solid, but mostly at home. On the road, they've been kind of a mess. They lost by 5 in overtime to Rutgers, lost by 18 to Iowa, 16 to Wisconsin, 11 to Minnesota. Those are their 4 road games in Big Ten play. I know Maryland hasn't been great, but they got a win last time out on the road. Played Michigan State tough in their last home game. I just think Nebraska away from home is asking for trouble, so I'll take Maryland minus the 5.5.
You got McMorty.
I'm going to look at the Big East game. I'm going to look at the Georgetown Hoyas. They're off a 24-point loss to Butler. Providence comes in off a 4-point upset win over Seton Hall. And Big East road underdogs of plus 3 or more points off a Suat's loss. They're 203 and 134 versus conference foes off a Suat's win. I'll take the Hoyas plus 12.
Javon.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick a different game, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm just going to do is touch on both games that were already spoken on. Big Al just mentioned it. I'm on Georgetown. I think that after that pounding that they took, going into the dunk at Cooley's old stomping grounds, this one could go one of 2 ways. It's going to be either a close, one of those tight affairs where Georgetown, stands up, which they have in a couple spots this season, or it's going to be an outright bloodbath. I'm going to lean towards Georgetown keeping this one close. And when I mean close, by close, I mean like a 2 to 3 point game, not one of those 5 or 6 or 7 point, whatever, or just covering the spreads. I think that they might be live in this one. And the Seton Hall Marquette game. I'm on Seton Hall, and that's on the condition that Kadari Richmond is playing. If he plays, I'll take the points. If he's not playing, then I would have to roll with Marquette.
There you go. Right.
And for me in this time slot here, I like Georgia on the road here, going into Florida here against the Gators. And look at the Gators. For me, it's that defense. They don't play a whole lot of defense, ranked 285th, I think, defensively, giving up boatloads of points. And I think Georgia, the way they can score, can go in there and keep it close. That point spread's just way too high. I know Florida's dominated Georgia head-to-head, but not this year. I think that's just way too many points, and I'll take Georgia plus the points. We got a shot to outright Florida in that one as well.
All right, let me get y'all one in this slot, man. I'm going to go – everybody that think about going last, everybody touched on everything. I'm trying to find a little sleeper here. Nobody touched on Houston, Kansas State. Give me Houston. They should beat up on Kansas State. Kansas State's, I think, a good team, but not that good. Like, I think their record indicates that they're better than they are. We just seen them get beat up by Iowa State on the road, and I think Houston kind of does the same. We've seen them beat up on UCF and Texas Tech at home. Like, Houston at home is just a different monster. That's a lot of lumber to lay, but I think when it's all said and done, it's probably like a 17-18, maybe even a dub type win for Houston, just a dominating performance. First game of the day. We'll see. All righty. Let's go from 1. We stopped at Kansas, Iowa State, so we'll go from 2 Eastern. We'll just do 2 Eastern and to 3 Eastern. So we'll stop at West Illinois, Morehead State. So like right there, right before we get to Clemson, Duke. It's a pretty huge slot. Mitch, what you got in that slot?
Oh man, there's so many games that I like in this slot. I mean, I really, really like this one. But one of the games that missed my premium, I like Texas against BYU. A lot of people down on the Horns right now, and I think for good reason because they're underachievers. But the thing that we have to remember is that they're super athletic. They just went into Norman, Oklahoma, and busted up a pretty good Sooners team, no problem. BYU is good, and I think that they're going to be good in this game. They certainly have all the measurables as far as statistics, but they didn't play the schedule that Texas played out of conference either. I think that Texas goes in here. I think they play hard enough, and getting a touchdown and change, I'm going to take Texas in the points.
Costi.
Yeah, you took it right out of my mouth. I love Texas in this spot. BYU playing better competition of late. You're starting to see the true team, which is at Texas Tech, loss, at home against Houston, where the line was 2, loss. And now they're getting in the heat of this Big 12 schedule. And look, Texas is underachieving based on what their performance going into the year, but they're 7-3 in their last 10 against a tough, like Mitch said, off out of conference schedule. So that big win was on the 23rd, plenty of rest to get ready for this game. I don't know if they'll win this game or not, but that's not important. What we're doing here is covering the spread, and 7.5 is a lot of points. So give me Texas as well.
David.
I'm going to look at North Carolina, Florida State. North Carolina has been great on a 9-game winning streak. All 9 of those wins by double digits. They come in today, minus 6.5-point favorite on the road against Florida State. Florida State's been actually pretty good, a lot better than I thought they would be. They're 6-2 in conference play. They did lose their last home game to Clemson, but this UNC team is just really good. They're 4-0 against the spread on the road. Like I said, in a 9-game winning streak, they're doing a lot of things right now. They're scoring over 83 points per game. They rebound the ball very well. I think North Carolina runs away with this one with another double-digit victory.
Big Al McMorty.
Let me unmute myself. I'm going to look at a Big Ten game. I'm going to look at Indiana versus Illinois. Illinois is off that upset loss against Northwestern. It lost by 5 as a 3.5-point favorite, so it failed to cover the spread by 8.5. But they're now at home, and the Hoosiers have been dreadful for years on the road. They're 30, 56, and 6 ATS on the road, including 0, 14, and 2 ATS their last 16 if their opponent failed to cover by more than 8 points in its previous game. I look for that 0 streak to reach 15 in a row. I'm going to take Illinois minus the points.
Javon, what you got for me here, my man?
Yeah, I'm on Murray State. You know, you look at this team, 8-12 for the season, and they're playing the 13-7 Southern Illinois team, but they're the ones that's favored by 3.5. That should be telling, you know. So, you know, they've been playing better lately, and you know, par for the course for Southern Illinois. Once they get to conference play, they go down. They take a nosedive. So I'm on Murray State in this one.
Fade my Salukis. I like them boys, but Murray State be hooping too. All right.
For me in this time slot, I like Texas Tech going into Norman and Oklahoma. Look, Texas just went in there and rolled you. I think Texas Tech can come in there and roll you. Texas Tech, solid team. And don't let that number fool you. Their road number, only 1 and 2 on the road. They've only played actually 3 road games, true road games. And one was against who they play on the road. They played Houston and they played Texas, and they beat Texas 78-67 in that one, and it looked real good doing it. So I like Texas Tech to come in and whoop up on Oklahoma. As I said in the previous show, I think Oklahoma's a little bit soft. They had a softer schedule going, and now they're playing some tougher teams, and we see what happens. I like Texas Tech in that one.
Rod with the we beat them and they beat you.
Yep.
love the we beat them and they beat you. You can get to like Central Connecticut State is going to beat Purdue. Like if you really work it around, you know. We beat them and they beat.
I'm gonna have to go the other way, Rod. I'm gonna have to stay with my boys, Sooners. I think this is just a classic bounce back at the crib.
They're gonna be mad.
Texas Tech, I get it. You know, they have been better on the road, but you just glossed over getting their doors blown off by Houston. You just glossed over that. And that was their last road game, and you know, Oklahoma, I think, is the better team. Like, just
not the only team to go into Houston and get their doors blown off in the last 2 years. That's for damn sure.
They're not. But what I'm saying is, Texas Tech, this is a team who, over the last couple seasons, at home is where they be hooping at. That's where they stack their wins. Big 12 play, them home teams.
That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think.
I'm taking Oklahoma on that one.
They actually win games at home and don't cover, but that's.
And they lose
3-1 the last 4 versus Oklahoma. They went into Oklahoma and busted them out last year. Let's do it again.
Bounce back at the crib for Oklahoma. I love that game today. We'll see. Let's keep it rolling, fellas. Where we stop at in that slot? We stopped at
2 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, 2 p.m. Eastern. So we'll go.
We stopped at that Western Illinois game.
Yeah, so we'll go from Clemson Duke at 4 Eastern. That's where we stopped. I'm Central Time, so Eastern. When I try to do Eastern, it throws me off. So that's why it seems like I'll be struggling. We'll go from 4 East. We'll do 4 Eastern to. That's a pretty big slot for the 3 o'clock slot for me. I just want to do the 3 o'clock slot. We'll just do the 3 o'clock slot. I'll start back in. Rod, what you like here? We'll start Clemson Duke and then end somewhere around
all the way to the 5 p.m.
All the way to North Arizona, East Washington.
All right. For me in this time slot, I like Clemson plus the points coming into Duke. You look at Clemson; they've had some ups and downs this season, but Duke laying 7.5, I think it's too many at home. The 9-2 at home. The 6-5 against the number is Duke, and Clemson on the road 4-2 against that number. I think they can come in and keep it close. Do I think they win it outright? I don't think so. I think Clemson's defense can hang with Duke, keep Duke down, and keep Clemson within that 7.5. I think it's a 3-4 point win for Duke. Give me Clemson plus the points in that one.
Jovan.
Yeah, I'm on Winthrop in this one. You know, High Point. They've been doing a hell of a job this season, 17-4 straight up, 13-5-1 against the spread, and 9-1 in their last 10. But going into Winthrop, it's a hell of a task. And, you know, I think that they rise to the occasion. They've been playing better as of late. And I just think, you know, at home in 2 basically evenly matched ball clubs, I'm gonna roll with the home team. So with it being a short number, give me Winthrop.
They got McMorty.
I'll make this short and sweet because Walter is barking, but sorry about that. I like Jacksonville State as a home dog against Liberty. Now, I'll be back in a sec. I got to take care of it.
David.
I'm looking at Colorado State and Wyoming. I'm going to take Wyoming plus the 8.5. They're 3-3 in conference play. They knocked off Nevada in their last home game, scored 98 points in that one. They beat Fresno State in their home game previous to that. They play very well on the road, at home. I'm sorry. They're not very good on the road, but luckily they're at home today. Colorado State has just not been very impressive in their last 5 games or so. They lost to Nevada by 13 points last time out. They barely got by UNLV. They went to overtime with Air Force, struggled with Boise State. So Colorado State's just not playing their best basketball right now. Wyoming's very solid at home. I'll take Wyoming plus the 8.5.
Costa.
I'm going to roll with Duke in this spot. Again, rolling with the home teams, rolling with my homies at home. Tough place to play in general. Probably one of the biggest home field advantages in college basketball in that little arena. And I think Clemson is on the downswing. I mean, when they lose, they usually don't cover on the road. So they beat Florida State. Obviously, they covered because they were laying 2. But Other times when they're playing teams on the road, they play Miami, they play Virginia Tech. They both didn't cover when they have the outright loss. I don't see them coming into that court with that much history, and they're going to do anything. It's not the Clemson team that we've seen last couple years. I know their records are similar, 14-4, 13-5, but Duke just had a slip up with Pittsburgh. But outside of that, they're 9-1 in their last 10. And they're covering. They're above 500 covering. I think that's a blowout at Cameron Indoor. So give me the Dukies.
Mitch.
I really like the Chiefs on the money line over the Ravens. I just think that Mahomes is going to get it done one more time, and I just don't think that the Ravens defense is going to hold up. I think it's going to be one of those situations where a bad call goes against the Ravens. The fans are going to whine like the little bitches that they are, and the rest of us are going to say, why do we watch this crap? But I do like the Chiefs in that one.
Sorry. Mute. Mitch was.
I also
muted.
think Tennessee Martin absolutely slaughters Lindenwood. I mean, Lindenwood just sucks. I mean, 347th in 3-point shooting, 313th in shooting from the floor. I mean, they got no chance whatsoever. They're 315th at defending the three up against a team that shoots 34.8% from the perimeter. This is going to be 25-point win again for Tennessee Martin. We just took them against Southeast Missouri State. The line had dropped from 13.5 down to 10. I liked it even more. I bet it like 4 more times. They beat them by about 40. I think this is going to be very, very similar. Love Tennessee Martin in this one. I got a premium on it, so freebie.
For me, a game that just missed my premium in this slot, man, is the Green Wave, Tulane at home. Charlotte is hooping. I give credit to Charlotte. They've won 5 straight. The game that really was the indication to me that they were hooping was the game against UNT when they beat up on North Texas. I was thoroughly surprised to see that happen. But, yeah, I know I love my bounce back spots at home, and Tulane's a different team at home. We just saw them beat Memphis at home in their last one. At the crib, they just been on the road. I just see them bouncing back here. I think they are the better team. I think they are better than Charlotte, even though Charlotte's on the better winning streak. 3.5, a bucket and a point. I know it looks a little, you know what I mean, but I think at home, I'm on the homies in this one too. On the home team, I'm taking Tulane.
Jay, you almost said a bucket and a mop. For that.
You bet.
For that.
Costi always working on his material.
Grab a bucket and a mop for that. Not going to say it.
Costi's trying to come back on his material from yesterday.
That was better.
Trying to save it.
That was better.
A little bit, but yesterday was bad. So.
But you don't know the song, so it's not as funny to you.
No, it's not as funny.
But if you knew the song.
Rack City.
All righty. So we went through 3 o'clock my time. So 4 Eastern. Let's go from.
I think we went through 5, right? 5 Eastern.
No. We'll start with Colorado, Washington State. And we'll go through. And we'll go through Montana, Portland State. So up through 7 my time, so 8 Eastern. So stop at UCLA, USC right before we get there. Think that's good? I think that's good. So yeah, from Portland State and up. Mitch.
Works for me. I'm going to go with Dayton against Richmond, man, at least on the money line, and then probably do the points as well. The world is on Richmond. It's the sexy underdog pick in this one, but I'll tell you one thing. Dayton's the Final Four team, man. Don't even just put a bet in on Dayton to go to the Final Four. Just put it away and forget about it, man. This team is absolutely stacked and playing on the top of their game. I really like Dayton. I like the way they're playing it. They've been my top play. They've been my top play of the day in college hoops more than any other team this season. And I haven't said a peep about it on the show, but today I didn't pick them as a premium because I know all the sharp chasers are all on Richmond. They're going to get their teeth kicked in. Dayton by double digits or more.
Costi.
I like Washington State in this spot. I mean, outside of the outright loss to Oregon, which we know Oregon's for real this year, they beat up on Utah. They beat up on Arizona, Oregon State, Boise State. I mean, they get the job done at home. All of their losses have basically been on the road. They've only lost one game at home, and that was to Oregon, which we see how, Oregon has potential this year. Even though they are 14-5, Oregon's a really good team in the conference. They've been rolling at home. I'm staying away from that Oregon game today, like Mitch said, but I love the Cougars at home. Colorado's been on a slide. They've only won one game on the road this year. 1.5 is a low number. Take them on the money line. Washington State Cougars.
Cougars. David.
I'm going with this Arizona State, Oregon State game. We saw Oregon State have that improbable win against Arizona last time out. Really, after being pretty bad this season, they are 10-9, 2-6 in the conference. But at home, they're not bad. They beat Arizona. They lost to Stanford in overtime. They beat someone else too. They beat USC, which I know isn't anything special, but they beat them by 16 points at home. Arizona State has killed me multiple times this year, so I may be a little biased, but they've lost 3 of 4. They're coming off of a 19-point loss against Oregon. They lost to Washington by 15 in the road game previous to that. I think Oregon State has a chance to win this one. I'll take the Beavers plus the 2.5.
Big Al, we went through the last game in this slide was Montana, Portland State. The first one in the slide was Colorado, Washington State.
Let's see. Give me a second here. I do agree with Mitch, by the way, on his game, but I don't want to say the same game. Let's see if I can find something.
See, he's not just on the show; he also listens to the show.
Oh,
I listen to the show.
So I'm gonna look at Vanderbilt. Double-digit dogs in SEC conference games that are off losses by 12 or more points. They're 151 and 94 ATS. Look at what Vanderbilt did in their last game. They lost to Mississippi State by 13, so they fall into that angle. So I'll take the commies today plus the points.
Jovan, what you got for me, my man?
I'm on JMU.
James
Madison. It's just a situation where they lost a couple weeks ago against Appalachian State. Now they get a chance to, go into their stadium and get the dub. That's really all I have for that.
Revenge spot. Rod.
For me in the spot, I like George Washington over LaSalle. G-Dub. LaSalle's just awful. They got one win in their last 9 games or something. They just stink. G-Dub wins by 10 plus. Extend that line. I think 5.5 is definitely not enough. I think they easily get a double-digit win. They are the better team in that one. They've lost two, so they're going to look to get back on the winning side, and I think they do. They're going to hammer LaSalle on that one. Take G-Dub.
G-Dub. Y'all know where I'm at. Hey, it's a lot of points to lay. And I got bitten the ass last Saturday fading them. But I'm still fading them. They're the gift that keeps on giving. I'm taking Creighton today. They're going to blow the doors off the ball. Like, they're going to blow them out by like 30. They should be up by 25 at half.
New coach, Engel. Doc Rivers, man, showing how important it is.
Yeah,
It worked for a game. Hey, it worked for one game.
I didn't coach that game.
It's not the point. It was just a new coach on the sideline. We didn't say the actual Doc Rivers was going to be there. That's down the line. We're keeping that one in our back pocket.
I think they say Doc coaching Monday is his debut, is what I saw yesterday against the Nuggets.
I'm going to coach Monday also.
But I just think this is a solid blow the doors off a bad team spot at home spot for Creighton. You know what I mean? So they should. Hey, I love fading DePaul. Come on, Creighton. Let's beat them up.
That's got to be one of the toughest coaching positions in like high-level college basketball, right?
What?
DePaul. Like they've been so bad for so long.
All they need is one guy to stay home. I mean, I don't understand it. It's like all you need is one guy. You had Anthony Davis, you had Derrick Rose, you had all these guys, man. If you just get one to stay home, that's all you need, man. You are in downtown Chicago. You're right near all these schools. You're right in between the south side and the north side. You're actually closer to you're on the north side, but your stadium is closer on the south side. It's like all you need is one guy, man. One guy. Like in the 70s, they were in the finals all the time, man. It's like
not gonna happen in this day and age.
All it's gonna take is one booster, man, to keep one.
Yeah,
of
I was
these
gonna say,
guys on.
Devon, what if they blow that bag? What if they just blow a bag in the NIL era?
The dynamics in that city is just too volatile to say for anyone to stay in that city. So it is.
I love Chicago, man. Great pizza. They got like all kinds of stuff. 2 baseball teams and the Bears, man. It's like you're only gonna have one team. Make it the Bears, right? It's like I love that place, man. I lived there for like 8 years.
Your pitch was going really good until you landed on the Bears.
Oh, man.
I was really in. I was dialed in.
I don't care, man. You go to Soldier Field, you go watch the Bears. One thing, like in Chicago, like, you got the White Sox and the Cubs or whatever, but everybody loves the freaking Bears. And it's like, I think if you're only going to have one team, man, the Bears is like the coolest team. It's like,
not Green Bay.
Cool. No, the Bears is way cooler, man. Green Bay is like hipster doofus, man. The Bears are like, man,
that's
the Bears. Okay. The Bears. Bear down, Chicago Bear.
All right, what you got for me in this slot, my man?
For me in the slot, where do we go to? Do we finish the rest of the card?
Oh, wait. Where do we end that? Did we end that slot?
Yeah, you finished it. You finished it, Jay.
Okay. All right. I did.
DePaul.
I took crazy.
Yeah. You took DePaul.
Yeah.
No, I
reverse. You took DePaul money line. Money line. Money.
That Central Eastern time is just messing you up over there.
Yeah, man. All right, let's close it out then. Let's close it out so I ain't got to worry about it. Let's do UCLA, USC through the end of the card, through Cal Poly, Hawaii. Mitch has finally got my ear. He's finally talked some sense into me. I gotta fade the hype train.
The Raptors?
No, the other one.
The Hawks?
USC.
See, Carolina Panthers, Washington Commanders, Shedeur Sanders for Heisman. # we coming. I gotta add the Raptors, here.
Yeah, you gotta add the Raptors. I'm down.
Yeah, we gotta add the Raptors. I go get the pen after this.
But I'm taking UCLA against USC. I think that's a 50-50 game, and I'd rather the points in my back pocket or attack the plus money. UCLA, they're not having a great season, but USC is still overhyped, even as bad as they are, and we all know why. I'm going to take a shot there on UCLA. Mitch?
I'm going to back up a slot, too. I'm going to give out 2 picks. One, I'm going to give out Montana State against Portland State. I'm going to use the Big Al angle on this one. Portland State coming off of a big-time win over Montana, who was actually was playing for the 4th time in 8 days. But Portland State they beat them up, man. There's no way they can repeat that, man. I'm taking Montana State in that one. Money line, everything, reverse, whatever you want to do. In this slot, though, I'm going to go with I like St. Thomas against North Dakota. I just really like betting against teams that play hideous defense. And North Dakota just fits the bill for me. 272nd up against the 104th best shooting team. And then when it comes to guarding the perimeter, once again, mismatch there. I just think St. Thomas too much for North Dakota in this one. I also like the way they hit the boards and that North Dakota doesn't.
Costa.
Yeah, I like St. Louis in this spot. Again, good team versus bad team, home and away. UMass, terrible on the road. St. Louis is actually, all their losses predominantly have been on the road. 8 of their 11 losses. So they're getting points at home. I stick with the narrative on Saturdays because Saturdays could be absolutely brutal. And if you want to get away from that, you want to literally cherry pick some of the home teams. At least from my experience, it's worked really well. I like the Salukis here grabbing 4.5 at home.
I'm going to go with San Francisco in this San Francisco-Portland game. The Dons come in pretty heavy favorite, 13.5 points, but they've been rolling. You know, they ran into 2 roadblocks with Gonzaga and St. Mary's in the last 2 games. They actually played decently well against Gonzaga, had a chance late there. But prior to that, they've been rolling over the WCC teams. They beat Loyola Marymount by 16. They beat Portland by like 27, San Diego by 20. They're very efficient offensively. They're shooting over 49% from the field. Portland is horrible. They're 1-5 in conference play. They're coming off of a 27-point loss to Loyola Marymount. They've allowed 92, 85, 101, 96, 95 points in the last 5 games. I think San Francisco blows them out.
Al?
Oh, I didn't know it was me. Yeah, I mean, Mitch mentioned, going against a team off a huge win. I'm going to do the same thing. The team, I think, coming off the biggest win this past week, or the most emotional win, was Alabama, beating Auburn 79-75. I just think it's a huge letdown spot for the Crimson Tide. And for technical support, consider that Alabama is 18-51 ATS when favored by more than 10 points if they won the previous game and scored 75 or more in that victory. So I'm going to take LSU.
Bigger than Oregon State over Arizona?
Yeah, because it's Alabama-Auburn. It's a rivalry. Doesn't get any bigger.
Jovan.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Northwestern. They came off that upset win against Illinois, so this could be a letdown spot. But I don't care. I'm gonna roll with them against an OSU team who I just, really, really down on. They do need to win, so this is gonna be a dogfight. So this is just missed my premium, but I think at the end of the day, Northwestern gets it done real strong at home.
Baden Holtman from late January on, never a bad strategy, Rod.
And for me, in this time slot, I'm going to go against the Zags. I think the Zags win, but by 25.5. I know it's against Pacific, but if you look last year, they were favored by 18.5 versus Pacific, and they won by 9. This is what we've seen from the Zags this year. I think they get the win here. I think they win by double digits, but trying to push a win by 25.5, no chance. Give me Pacific plus the 25.5 in that one.
Well, Pacific only scored 2.5 more points than that 25.5 the last game. So if they score more than 2.5, it's like
it was 99-90 last year.
Yeah, but the Pacific scored 28 last game against St. Mary's.
There was a look ahead. See, they were looking ahead. The Pacific was looking ahead. It was a look ahead spot. That's why it was that look ahead. The last game they all scored 25 because they were looking ahead. Here comes the Zags.
I thought
Lamar Jackson was responsible for more points last week than Pacific.
I thought the Clippers was going to be looking ahead yesterday. The Raptors.
Yeah, but they just cruised. Did they even break a sweat?
No. It was from quarter 1. They just jumped out on their ass and never looked back.
And they cruised. They were just like,
we've adjusted the list. We've adjusted the list for you, Jay. Toronto Raptors in at number 5 and number 6. USC football and hoops. You got or we could put any Lincoln Riley coach team. We could put the little abbreviation there. Jay learned a little bit about college football this year and what it means when a team just refuses to play defense in college football. Let's just forget about it.
Another touchdown.
Like a bunch of guys standing around. It's like
right. I thought you were tackling them. Well, I thought you were. Oh, whoops.
All righty, fellas. Well, that was college hoops. Let's move into the National Basketball Association. We got a game starting in about an hour. They got the team with 5 wins on the season. Favored. They've lost 39 times. They're expected to win today. Not only are they expected to win, they're expected to win by over a bucket. Line 3.5. Detroit laying 3.5 on Washington. Still looming over this game, my guy Cade Cunningham, game time decision. I need to know if he's in. I need to know. 5th straight home game for the Detroit Pistons. They did win their last game over another bad team, the Hornets. I lean Wizards. I do. I'm not betting this game personally, though. But I lean Wizards. I just can't mentally get there laying points with the Pistons. I'm sorry. I think this is a 50-50 game, and in 50-50 games, a lot of the times I like to have the points in my back pocket or attack the plus money. Small lean towards Washington for me. Mitch?
I'm looking at the Pistons in this game. I know they're looking ahead to tomorrow. OKC is coming, so I think they think they got a chance, in that one. I wonder what the line's going to be in that one. Probably about 40. But I like the Pistons in this one. I like the way Alec Burks is playing. I'm going Pistons, and I like all the Burks props over. Cade doesn't play. If Cade does play, well, I still like all the Burks props over.
Mitch just be stealing my guys.
Well, we got it. Sharon is Karen, right? Karen, it's like Thunder Buddies, Chicken Nuggets, Pacers. It's like all my mid-market. I don't care. Believe me, I don't care. Everyone thinks everything Jay says it's so much better than I do. Everyone thinks I'm copying him.
I know. I just be pulling your leg. Gosti.
I'm not a huge fan of this game at all, but I have to lean toward the Pistons. They were favored last game versus Charlotte. They're favored by the same amount again. Washington is terrible, but look, the Pistons lately have been covering the spread consistently. They've covered 6 in a row. So they're getting close to that 50-50 against the spread on the season, just because the numbers are double digits most of the games. But there's a reason why they're favored in this game, because Washington is that much worse. And not running to the window to bet this game, but I'm going to ride it, man. You got to ride momentum in the NBA. And look, they just got a W. They have some hope. Cade Cunningham comes back today, hopefully. And so I'll like them even more. So Pistons by 3.
David, this is your team. Your Pistons.
Oh God.
They go back to back.
I don't take pride in that. But no, I'm gonna roll with the Pistons too.
A little back to back.
They've played well recently in that back to back with Milwaukee. They lost both games, but they lost by 9 and 6. They lost by 7 to the Wolves. They beat this Washington team in Washington, 129-117 back on January 15th. So a 12-point win. I think even if Cunningham doesn't play here, I like the Pistons. Washington's been almost just as bad as Detroit. Detroit at home playing well. I'll take the Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. I don't want to lay points with Detroit. These two teams have traded road victories. I think that'll continue on this Saturday. I'm going to take Washington plus the points, and I think they snapped their 6-game losing streak.
I think when the Pistons have been favored, man, they've been winning, right?
1-1, I think.
Small sample.
2 days ago.
Hold on.
Another one where everybody was like, "Oh, the Pistons are."
It's a recent sample size.
There's the voice of everybody. Voice of everybody.
As favorites, they're 1-3. They're 1-3 this season.
Yeah.
The voice of everybody.
But they're on a 1-0 streak.
Jay was doing the voice of everyone. We thought he was going to get the text from Rod. Rod's texting again.
Yeah, Washington's not to be trusted in my book. Plain and simple. I'm on the Pistons.
Right.
I don't trust the Pistons to win back-to-back games. They win one, and they're like, "Yeah, we got one! Yeah!" How many have they win back-to-back? I think they're 1-17 in winning back-to-back. No, give me the Wizards here. Wizards win. Money
Hey,
line.
don't let this team get hot. That's all I can say. Don't let the Pistons get hot.
We've been saying waiting for the Pistons to get hot for the last 2 years. We're like, you've got the pieces. What are you doing?
You could get Ben Wallace back. I don't think he's
Hey,
that old. He probably
we're
looks
just-
exactly the same.
We're sandbagging for one more high draft pick, then we make our move.
And then you make the move.
Yeah, we'll get Big Ben back out there. I like that idea.
Nice. Then you'll be rolling.
Mitch, your Heat, man, running up against that hot buzzsaw that is the New York Knicks. Knicks laying 4.5 in the Garden. I feel like the Knicks be balling at this like standalone like Saturday game, or like, you know, like they balled on Christmas in the Garden, they balled on New Year's Day in the Garden. Do the Heat go in there and bust them up or what? This game, I'm nervous about this game. I don't love this game. Me personally, I probably do lean towards Miami with the 4.5. Knicks might win the game, but I think this is just a come down to the wire style game. I want the points, me personally. What you think, Mitch?
This one's going to be close, and Hawkes will be in for the Heat, and so is Love. So it'll be a little bit better than we've seen them recently. We don't see the Heat at full strength all that often. So I think with Hawkes and Love and, you know, Terry Rozier now in the mix, this one's going to be a heavy hitter battle. I'm with Jay. I'm taking the points, and I think it could go one way or the other. We might have to ask the Magic people if the Heat can win outright.
Man, they seen the A-ball in a minute.
Ask again later.
My reply is no. My arm didn't hurt so much from working out, I would throw this across the room.
The 8 ball got me today.
Costa.
I know that, you know, they're going to come back to earth eventually, and they're not. The Knicks are not going to keep winning these games, and obviously, in a typical spot with Miami losing as many, it's got to come close, right? It's got to average itself out. But I'm not going to lean Miami in this game. I think getting a new player like Rozier, they don't have their rotation down yet. And even getting back Hawkes, it's still a work in progress. It took every team like the Clippers a week or two. Now they're rolling. Now you're seeing the Pacers figuring it out with the rotation. I still think they're about a week away from really getting into gear. And the Knicks figured it out. Getting the other player from the Toronto Raptors, they are really figured it out. And that rotation of Brunson, DiVincenzo, Obi, and Randall have been balling. And I think this is another statement game.
DiVincenzo against us? Come on. You're kidding.
He's a
right?
good role. He was a good role player for the Bucks too.
Hawkes, Butler.
Hawkes is coming off. I get it. Jaime is a great player. Loved him at UCLA. He's been great on the Heat, but it's going to take him some time. There's a reason why they keep losing games.
You got the best coach in the history of the NBA. With half our team missing when Harrow was out, we still beat the brakes off the Celtics in Game 7. Held Jason Tatum to 17
You can't
points.
You can't keep living in the past. I get it. I get it.
It was the last Eastern Conference Finals that there was.
Great in the
all we have
bubble,
to reference. Well, just
You were
like
in
you
the
were living in
bubble.
the
You
Ravens
did
win
great.
last week, man. You're living in
Great
you're living
team in the
last
bubble.
You're living in the past, man. There's no 5-minute abs.
You're living in the past. The bubble was great. Hero got a lot of things sent up to the room during the Disney trip when they were in the bubble. You know, he got what he, had a relationship that elevated his game, scoring 30 plus in the finals. That's in the past, man. This is now.
I went to the finals last year, represented the Eastern Conference, beat the Bucks 4 games to 1.
Going to the finals is the same as the other 28 teams that lost. Only one team wins.
Tell him, Al.
Except for the guys in the top 3 in the draft lottery who just got the shit beat out of them all season. Anyways.
David, what you got from here?
At least, my team gets the shit beat out of him all season and doesn't even get a good pick. So
we got Burks.
Perfect. Yeah, we got Burks. That's who we got.
Golf.
Ivy.
What was that?
Got Ivy.
Ivy. I do like Ivy, but Him and Monty don't see eye to eye.
Monty's got to go. He's never won anywhere.
Is Jared Goff top 10, David?
Goff, the top 10 QB?
Yeah.
On the Lions.
No, I would say no because he has to be indoors or in perfect outdoor weather to be successful. If there is any type of adversity he faces weather-wise, he's not good. So no, I won't.
Is he the greatest quarterback in Detroit history?
In my lifetime, yes.
Shout out Jared Goff.
Better than Matt Stafford?
Yeah, has he surpassed Stafford?
Only because he's been able to deliver playoff wins.
Better than Rusty Hilger.
I mean,
It's a good thing they got 52 other guys on the team.
There is, but a lot of times Stafford in big games didn't play his best.
Greg Landry.
But Stafford was good, and I root for him still. But no, I think Goff. Look where he's taken this team. I know people call him a game manager or whatever, but he's still the one quarterbacking the Lions in the NFC Championship game. You know, you got to give him some credit.
True. All right.
But this one, Knicks are rolling right now. I really liked, obviously, how they played against Denver last time out. But I'm with Mitch here. I like Miami getting healthy. The Knicks, I think, come back to earth a little bit. I'll take the points with the Heat on the road.
Big Al.
Yeah, I like Miami in this situation. They're coming off that huge 36-point, 38-point loss at Denver, whatever it was. Miami is 37-11 as a single-digit road dog off a 20-point or worse defeat. I'll take the Heat plus the points.
Javon.
Yeah, I'm on the under in this one. When these two teams get together, it's usually a low-scoring, knockout, drag-out type of affair. You know, whether it's in Miami or New York, especially in New York. You know, so with that said, I'm on the under, even though it's a low total.
Right.
Yeah, I think you got to go with the Heat here. We've seen the way they got whooped last time out. I think they step it up here and make it a close game. It's always a battle with New York. These things always come right down to the wire. And it was a 2-point game last meeting between these two. And I think it's that type of game again. Who's got the ball last win? So take those points.
There you go. Next game up. I think it's the game of the day, in my opinion. The last time we saw these two teams, it was a war. Like, it's pick your poison. It's what do you want? You know what I mean? Who you want? They gonna give it to you in different styles, different flavors, but in the end, we got the 76ers on the road in Denver. Denver beat 76ers in Philly the other day. Really? How long ago was that? That was on the 16th. So that was 11 days ago. Less than 2 weeks ago. Hey, y'all know me, man. Or the Sixers won that game. I'm sorry. Sixers won that game. Revenge spot at home, at the crib, where Denver goes stupid, dummy, crazy. I'm taking Denver. Land the points. Mitch.
Like I always say, the Nuggets go stupid, dummy, crazy at the crib. Taking the Nuggets in this one.
Costa.
Nuggets at the crib. I'm always with it. And I think it's just a good spot for them. They play much better at home than on the road. And the 76ers, you saw it after that huge Embiid game. They ran into a buzzsaw against the Halliburton-less team that now could hang without Halliburton, which is really excited to see when he comes back, how they're going to figure that out. But
today
again,
could be the day, right? Today or tomorrow?
I don't think it's today. I have to look that up. I don't think it's today, but that it's still going to take some time. I mean, Siakam is finally coming into his own, but on that team, I'm leaning toward Denver. I think this is a typical Joker bad matchup for Embiid. Embiid struggles against centers. They stay at the top of the block that he has to defend, and then they have to rotate and switch guys. And Joker is the catalyst for the whole offense. And he's a point forward on that team, which is, he's one of a kind. I just like the spot at home. laying the 5.5. I think it's going to be closer than we think, but I think they get the job done at the end of the game and win by about 7 or 8.
David,
have you heard anything injury related for either team, Jay? That's big because like the injury report for both teams, the game time decisions are crazy.
they are.
Do you know if anyone
Murray and Jokic were probable when I looked overnight.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna roll with Denver at home just because it's Denver at home and that's what you do. But definitely keep an eye and see if as we get closer to tip off, see if anyone is out because, like I said, there's 4 guys on the 76ers game time decision, 4 on Denver.
Big Al McMorty.
I mean, I think we might get every single person on Denver here. ESPN's trying to pawn this off as a rivalry game on their rivalry week thing, which is ridiculous. This is not a rivalry. I'll take Denver. I mean, they're off the blowout loss, and they're 12-3 ATS. Their last 15 off a loss by 15 or more points.
What's the rivalry angle? I don't even get.
There isn't one. It's their shoehorn.
No. I'm not gonna.
I don't want to hear it's they got 2.
I ain't gonna let
big guys.
It's a rivalry.
Stop it! No, it's not.
Yes,
not
it
a
is.
rivalry.
Yes, it is. It's a rivalry.
Jay loves the hype train. He loves the hype train.
Teams in the league, man, they be going at it, man. These are 2 back-to-back. These are the last 3 MVPs. It's a rivalry.
It's not a rivalry.
It's a rivalry.
Doesn't make it a rivalry.
Doesn't make it a rivalry.
Yes, it do. Yes, it do. I'm better than you, and let's see it on the court.
You could say that every night. Every team thinks they're the best.
I get it. I know. Hype train.
That's what Ray Lewis used to always say. He's like, you can talk to some guys from like a 1-15 team, man. They'll think that they'll tell you they're the best. Like, it's just how it is.
Javon, is it a rivalry? And what you like in this game?
No, it's not a rivalry. Not the teams, maybe the players based on the last, 3 MVP campaigns. But I think this is an under game. Last game went well over the total. This one should stay under the total. I'm expecting a lower pace game from Denver, and with it being in Denver, I think they dictate the pace. The terms of engagement in this one. So yeah, I'm expecting a lower scoring game, and the injury report's crazy on both teams. So expect somebody to be out. So that should lower the production for either one of both teams.
All right. I saw you shaking your head. You going with the Sixers?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Sixers here plus the points. You gave me 5.5. You look at Denver. This is our first game back home off of that road trip where they didn't look so good in some spots. Your first game back home off of a road trip of 5 or more games, not where I want to be putting my money. Give me the 76ers. You look at the Nuggets. They've failed to cover as favorites in 5 straight games. So the Nuggets probably win this game. But, it's like your first game back home off of one of those long road trips. And really, they only had 1 day's rest coming into this one. Yeah, give me the 76ers plus the points all day. And you look at the 76ers head-to-head against Denver. Sure, it may be a rivalry, but 76ers are always covering. Denver maybe get the win back and forth. They're 7-2-1. ATS are the 76ers against the Nuggets. I will take the 76ers in this one.
The thing is the Sixers are an easy team to figure out, though. When they lose, they don't cover. They don't. How many times have they been a dog this season? Oh, let me see.
Not many. I just know there's that streak of them being favored on the road.
Don't listen to Rod.
Philadelphia, they're 2-7 this season as a dogs. Straight up. So and then ATS, basically when they lose, they're gonna lose. And when they're a favorite, they're gonna win and cover. Basically, they're a weird team, the 76ers. ATS, they are as an underdog. Hold on, I got you. 4-5.
I got 4 and 6.
Yeah. We'll see. I can't wait to watch that game today, though. That's probably the game I'm most excited for today. I'm fall for the hype train, the rivalry.
Jay's getting the hat.
Next game up, man. Let's go to Brooklyn. I hate this game right here. I'm both of these two teams could easily find their way onto the list, man. We got the Brooklyn Nets and the Houston Rockets. Both started the season out as one of the best ATS teams in basketball, and since they've just been falling knives. I'll start on the back end on this one. Rod, what you got for me here?
For me in this one, you look at the Nets, and I don't want to be laying any points with the Nets. Yuck. It's just we've seen them, they come down the stretch and game time, crunch time. They just don't get the job done late in games. We've seen it too many times. I'm not going to lay it with the Nets. I know the Rockets on the back-to-back here, but they play some defense, and I think that defense carries into this one. Give me the Rockets plus the points. I think it's a lot closer game if the Rockets don't outright the Nets in this one. So give me the Rockets.
Rockets for Rod. Javon.
Yeah, I don't like this game at all. But that loss that the Nets took to the Wolves, a game where they came back and almost got it. I think that one hurt a lot. I think you had some residue from that in this one. So laying 4 points, I just can't see it. So just on the strength for that, I'm on the Rockets.
Big Al.
Yeah, I want to go against Houston off that 138-104 win. Especially when you get teams that are off these high-scoring blowout wins, when they score 135 or more, when they win by more than 15 points, if they're on the road off that, high-scoring blowout win and they're not getting 10 or more points, they've only covered 90 out of 218. So it's good enough for me. I'll take the home dog.
David.
I'm sorry, the home favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I don't love this game. I find it funny just straight up how bad Houston is on the road and how decent they are at home. But Brooklyn's been pretty decent against the spread at home. 4.5. I'm not super comfortable with it, but I'm even less comfortable with taking Houston on the back-to-back with how poorly they've been on the road. So give me Brooklyn at home.
Costa.
Hate both these teams in these spots. Houston on the road's terrible. The wheels have fallen off Brooklyn. Not touching this game at all. Give me the under in this game. Under 220. Sexy pick on a Saturday. I can't do it. I can't make a reason for either team. They're both terrible in the spots that they're in. And so life's too short to take the under, but today I'm going to do it.
Mitch.
I was waking up after Costy's total pick in that one. I'll just tell you one thing. I'm not putting 1 cent of my hard-earned money anywhere near the trash-ass Nets as a favorite. I don't care who they're playing. They could be playing the Pistons, the Spurs, or any team that's been auto-faded by me all season long. I could care less. The only thing worse than the Nets at home or the Nets as favorites is the Nets as favorites against the West, man, where they haven't covered against a Western team in about 6 months. I'm taking the Rockets in this one. I'll take the points. I don't need them, but the Nets, they're 0-6 against the West, man. It's favorites. Good luck. I can't even believe they're favored in this game. It's like, oh, the Nets are favored. Someone knows something. Rod, you could say it for me. The Nets are favored. Someone knows something. Like, right? I know something, man. I ain't laying a freaking point with the Nets. Even if it was -1, I wouldn't do it. Man.
Yeah, but I don't want the Rockets on the road either. They're 5-15 straight up.
But you're not getting the Rockets on the road. You're getting the Rockets plus 4.5 points.
Plus 4.5, yeah.
But
we don't need them to win. We just need them to cover that 4.5.
You need them to play well.
It's like Al Davis used to say, man, just cover, baby.
You need them to play well on the road, and I can't expect them to do that. I can't.
But you can expect the Nets.
Can the Nets play well at all?
Yeah, exactly. You can expect the Nets to play good.
I get it. I do. They played decently their last two against, two solid opponents. Revenge game at home where they have at least covered this season. Ugh, I hate this game. I hate laying points with the Nets. But I'm damn sure not taking the Rockets on the road. So I get everybody's argument here. It's it's really just which way you want to go. But I'm gonna lean towards Brooklyn in this one. at the crib. Next game up.
It's your money.
I know I said that that Nuggets Sixers was the best game on television today, but this game right here is sure giving it a run for its money. We got, in my opinion, Mitch's gonna clown me for this, like he always does, but who cares? The best team in the
NBA.
Boston Celtics. They're laying 7.5 on the Clippers. I faded the Clippers last night. Play of the week. I know. They're playing much better right now. The Clippers are. But today's the day they get their doors blown off. I don't care. I'm taking Boston. I'm taking the Celtics. Back end of a back-to-back, leaving Toronto, probably went through customs, now going to face the best team in the league. It just, I don't know. It just seemed like a bad spot. I know Boston's been on the road, but them boys have been hooping. I was at the game where they beat up on my Mavs. Then they proceeded to go on the road and take the Miami Heat behind the woodshed. They're rolling. They're the best team in the NBA. The last home game they played, they lost to the Denver Nuggets. So you know they're going to come back home with fire in their eyes, blood in their eyes. They're going to blow the doors off the Clippers today. I'm laying the points. Mitch.
Like I've been saying, you take away those 6 consecutive losses that the Clippers had earlier this season, and they have the best record in the NBA, man. And they are the best team in the NBA. They are going all the way. They got to certainly have a shot. I think they're at least going to the Western Conference Finals, if not going all the way. They have all these superstar players, so it's just next man up, and they're playing against a bunch of soft-ass bitches, and I think that really plays into their hands here. Porzingis is already banged up, so the Celtics already have the excuse wagon lined up, man, in this one. Porzingis is hurt. It's like he sucks anyway, all right? Let's be honest here. He's never played for a winner, and that's why, because he sucks. He's not good enough to play at that level. The Clippers come into this one. They've won 7 of their last 8. The only loss was at the House of Disappointment. They lost by 4 as a 1-point favorite. They've been busting teams up, covering 4 in a row, including beating the Thunder Buddies by 11. If you can beat the Thunder Buddies by 11, you sure as hell can beat the soft-ass Jason Tatum at Boston Celtics. Just let Brown shoot, man. That's all you got to do. Just let Brown shoot. Taking the Clippers money line plus 245.
Fair. Costa.
The steel's been cracked. Of the unbeaten at home, the seal's been cracked. Now the floodgates are open.
Back to regular schedule program.
I have to agree with Mitch here. I've certain things that I switch because he's right on. Certain things I just stick to my guns, like never betting the Atlanta Hawks. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
I hate when Mitch is right.
Not going against the Clippers is the next one on my list. I'm done. I learned my lesson last night. You know, when you get a spanking, like the kid should not do the same thing over and over again. Well, as an adult, I'm not going to fade the Clippers anymore, especially when I can grab 7 points. This is a revenge game, in my opinion. They lost to Boston 108 to 145 earlier in the season when Harden was just basically traded within the first couple weeks. This is going to be a different story. When Kawhi's healthy,
nobody even played 30 minutes in that game for the Clippers. I mean, they just spread it around. Nobody even played more than 30 minutes.
This is a different team where they figured out how to have Westbrook be as efficient as a 6th man as I've ever seen since Jamal Crawford. On the same team. He was the man for so many years on the same team as the 6th man. So give me the Clippers here, grabbing the points.
Kevin McHale was a hell of a 6th man.
That was before my time.
On the other side of this, man.
But for the same type of player where he's that everything player coming off the bench, the firepower, the energy. And they've just, when Kawhi's healthy.
I take Kevin McHale as it over him.
I get it. Different player.
As my 6th man.
But it's just the points. You know, I just love the points in my back pocket. 7's a lot. It could easily be a backdoor late in the game if they come off slow from the back-to-back. But I like the Clippers here. I think this is a statement game for them as they are the best team over the last few months in the NBA, even better than Boston. So I'm taking the points here.
I hated to see Boston lose at home because the Pistons have to take their banner down because they took Boston to overtime there. They had hung a banner for that, so that has to come down though now that they lost. But yeah, I'm with I'm with Mitch and Costi here. The Clippers, I know they're on a back-to-back, but they're rolling. I mean, they're great offensively. They're scoring a ton of points. They've scored like 125 points and I think 7 of 8 or 8 of 9. I do like the over in this game, but I don't want to make that my pick. I don't want to put Mitch to sleep. So I'll take the Clippers with the points.
The sexy pick.
The sexy pick. Total.
Big Al McMorty, what you got for me here?
Yeah, I mean, actually, when they lost to Boston earlier, that wasn't, Harden had been on the team for 2 months when they lost them. Kawhi didn't play in the first meeting, so no surprise they got blown out. Hopefully everyone plays tonight and they don't rest anyone off the back-to-back, but that's why they're getting 7.5 points, because it is a back-to-back. It's too many points. I'll take the Clippers.
Jovan, it's your team.
Yeah, I expect the under in this one. This total's just a little bit too high. It's already going down from 235.5 to 232.5, I believe. And it's a situation where Boston has been hitting everything in sight, and I don't expect that to happen in every game. And this might be the game where you might see a few more missed shots without Porzingis on the court. That's they have a lot of weapons. They have too many weapons on the court at one time. That's why they always have an open man. And not having one on the court in the form of Porzingis who could stretch these centers out, and bring them to the 3-point line, it's a problem for opponents. So not having him is big, in this one. I think he's out. I think he's doubtful or whatever. So, if he's out, the production's not going to be there for the Celtics. And on the defensive side of the ball, they're going to bear down on the Clippers. The Clippers aren't going to have easy shots. You're going to see what you saw when they played the Clippers in LA, which is the Clippers missing a whole lot of shots based on, the defensive play that the Celtics do bring on the court. So I like the under.
All right.
And for me in this one, I like the Celtics here. This is a tough spot for the Clippers on the back-to-back here, and Celtics sitting at home just waiting for them to arrive. And I got the Celtics by 10 in this one. I know that everyone's you look and everyone's like, this is a spot for the Clippers. I wish if the Clippers weren't on the back-to-back. Clippers on the back-to-back. Tough spot here. No, I think they're happy they got their win in Toronto. I think they're going to come give it a battle, but
the team that would be happy to get a win in Toronto is the Celtics, because they love to slap their asses when they beat like the Hornets or something, and they act like they've won the championship. Jason Tatum doing this crap, right? That's what he does.
That's what we'll see. Yeah, but that's what we'll see.
This stuff. Yeah, against the Hornets.
This is normally the spot where
against the regular
season,
16 points at a minus 38.
He would love to sit on the bench and have a drink and watch everybody go at it, but he doesn't like to play in back-to-backs. He hates it.
I'll tell you what Kawhi does is gets up for the big games, man. He's a big game player.
He is a big game player, but this is a regular season game. He gets up in the playoff games and wait till the playoffs. I'm not betting against Clippers.
It could be a statement game. You're playing the other best team in the NBA.
They're not the best team. They haven't even made the finals in 2 years. And when they did, they got
regular season. They're the best.
Remember Curry
regular
kept doing this.
Team.
Remember when Curry was doing this in Game 6? He was doing this because
they're still well respected, and everybody
it was a
wants
better
to
world.
beat them.
A world with no Celtics. It was over in the third quarter. It was like if they weren't going to give out the trophy and the confetti wasn't going to fall, that place would have been empty because they were up by like 60 points. Jason Tatum was crying like little baby, no rolled ankle like the Heat game, right? He was just crying. Curry's like doing this stuff. It was bad. It was really bad. How are they the second best team or the best team or any of that stuff when they have won? Here's what they've won. Right here. I'm exactly what I'm holding in my hands.
This year
they've won nothing, man. They've won nothing. We're not giving it to them. They have to earn it on the court.
Team this year.
How?
In the season.
How?
You have to.
How are they the best team?
They're a top team. They're a top 4.
They only have 10 losses. Only have 10 losses. They're hooping.
And that wins you how many rings?
We're not talking about rings. We're talking about this year. Every year is a snowflake.
Because I think even in Boston, even when I lived in Boston, I'm telling you, man, these people, if you don't win the championship, it is not a good season, man. That's how they are. This is a very tough fan base. I'm telling you, man. I lived in Boston. I told everybody, man, about this story. I'll tell it again. I'm sitting at the Celtics game, right? Last thing, I mean, they're ready to freaking kill the Lakers. I mean, they're ready to just beat them up in the stands, jump on the thing. Kurt Rambis takes Larry Bird, he throws him into the scoring table. It's like almost a brawl out on the thing. Bird just like takes the ball, throws it in, and the guy next to me just says, Larry fucking Bird. And that's all they fucking care about, man. Winning. They do not care about anything else. It is a rough place. I'm telling you. They don't care about being a 10-loss team or any of that stuff. They only care about championships. They only care about banners. And if you don't win those, you're a scrub. And Jason Tatum, he's probably on their last nerve of the real Celtics fans. Gotta be. You can't second. They're not looking for second place in the East.
They're gonna blow the doors off of the Clippers today.
And you know, and how many titles that's gonna give them? 0, man. They have, I mean, 0. How many championships do the Celtics have at this point? A ton. You're talking about a franchise that won, you know, I mean, so many titles. And then you're like trying to pretend like what they're doing now is significant in any way whatsoever, man. It's not. What it's doing is building the legacy of being losers in the big games.
I think you're way too harsh on these boys. Like
I'm only realistic. I think that if you want to be treated like a champion, if you want to be treated like the best, like the Nuggets are, right? If you want to be treated like the Nuggets are, go to the finals and beat the fucking Nuggets, man. That's what you got to do. If you want to be treated like LeBron gets treated, like Tatum does, then show up in the biggest moments, because in LeBron's biggest moment of his entire career, he ran the length of the court and blocked the shot. We know Kyrie hit the bucket. We understand that. But LeBron showed up, man. Jason Tatum in the biggest moments of his career, 16 points, man.
LeBron had a lot more failures than he had.
Yeah, I mean, I think you forgot about the Dallas Mavericks Dirk Nowitzki series.
That's what I'm saying. Tatum's 25. He's 25.
The Celtics. That's the reason why he got ran out. Well, he ran himself out of Cleveland because he couldn't get past the Celtics.
He's 25.
So there's a lot. I mean, this isn't a LeBron James on conversation, but LeBron James had a lot of failures before he won those championships. You know, forming that big three over in Miami.
Like Jimmy
Butler Tatum's got better than the big three to work with. He's got a $61 million fucking teammate.
I don't care about how much money Jaylen Brown makes. He's not a He's not.
He is a $61 million a year player. That's what he is.
But we all know circumstances led to him getting that contract. He's not that guy.
Well, $61 million a year says he is.
Look. There's gonna be a lot more players than him getting that kind of contract. He's just the first. You know, hey, there's a lot of money in the NBA, so a lot of guys are gonna get that type of money. It's as simple as that.
Shit. Jaylen Brown.
He is what he is. He's a second or third guy on the team, but he's getting paid like he's a top dog. But hey, listen, the Celtics, they got a boat this year. Now we just got to see them come together. I'm more worried about the coach. I'm not worried about the players on the court. I'm worried about the coach putting them in the right positions, having them do the right things on the court, stop shooting threes when they're cold, because that's their problem. So when they're hot, no one's beating them. When they're cold, that's when they're gonna show you who they are.
I agree.
Really simple as that.
Let's keep it rolling. Jazz laying 9.5 on the road on the Charlotte Hornets. I'm not laying 9.5 with the Jazz on the road. I'm not. Can't. Won't. The Hornets are terrible. They're a bad team. But expecting the Jazz to win by double digits on the road is insane. They're more likely to lose this game by double digits than they are to win it by double digits, in my opinion. That's just me, bro. That's just me. How many games have the Jazz played on the road this season? Hold on.
More games than Charlotte has won.
25 they've played on the road.
They're 8-17 on the road.
The Jazz are 8-17 on the road.
Yep.
All right, so I want to say like 10 of those 17 losses were like 15-point losses. That's why I say that. Like they're more
12
likely
and 13 against the spread on the road.
They're more likely to lose by double digits than expecting them to win.
If they played 25 games on the road against Charlotte, they'd be 25-0. Maybe 24-1. Give them one. I mean, Charlotte's dog shit.
They are dog shit, Big Al. But that's
Tell
a lot
them
of
now.
lumber.
Tell them.
That's a lot of lumber. I want the points with Charlotte. I do. I'm not rushing to bet this one. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. But I think that's a lot of points. Mitch, what you think?
I'm on the Clippers, and I'm gonna take Utah as well. I'm taking Utah. I also like all the Tatum under props, especially the fourth quarter. Anything you can get fourth quarter Tatum props.
Parlay with Alec Burke overs.
Yeah, that's not a bad play.
That's a good one. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, Alec Burke over, Tatum under. I'll tell you what else has been under is the Hornets, man. These guys can't score 100 points. I bet on them last night against the Houston Rockets. I was watching it in the third quarter, and I just said, what thought went into my head when I made this bet? Like, what was I even thinking? It's like all of a sudden, because what happens is the Hornets really can't score more than about 102 points a game, right? So they get close, or they think that they're on pace for 104. And then they just say, forget it. We're just not going to score any points. And that's exactly what happened in that game last night against the Houston Rockets. I can't sit through it again. I'm going to take the Jazz in this one. I'm going to hold my nose, but not going to take the total. But I'll tell you what, I also like the Hornets team total under because, I mean, these guys, 104 points, 106 points, 89, 112, 87, 99, 98, 112. I mean, these guys, they can't score more than 100. They scored 104 last night. They were thinking, oh, my gosh, we're going to hit 110 plus, and then the people are going to expect us to win because every time they've broken 110, they've won except for the game against Penn. So it's like they don't want to live up to that expectation. I don't think they go triple digits tonight. I'm taking the Jazz.
Costi.
And the Clippers.
It's simple for me. I've learned my lesson with a lot of things in the last week. And another one is if the Jazz are playing a team that's on the road that stinks, like the Washington Wizards the other night, lay the points. I know the Jazz are not a good traditional road team this year, but they've been blowing out teams that stink. And you saw that with the Wizards. I can't get Charlotte out of my mouth today. No way. Just Jazz not running to the window on this one, but I'm going to lay the double digits with Jazz.
The Hornets, they're just a weird team. They've got blown out by the Rockets at home this week. They lost to the Pistons. They also beat the Timberwolves, competed with the Sixers, and beat the Spurs. What the hell's going on there? David?
Yeah, I can't take the Hornets, especially on a back-to-back looking like they did last night. I do think that team total Mitch was talking about, that's at 111.5 right now. I do really
under.
I like that a lot. But yeah, give me the Jazz in a blowout.
I own it, man. I was on the Hornets. I own it, man. I own it. I'm going to change my Twitter name, but I own it.
Big Al.
Oh, I guess I'll take the dog shit Hornets.
You are? Oh.
I don't know. I mean,
Can't help him. Well, the Hawks aren't playing. He got nowhere to go.
You guys, you made fun of me last week for taking DePaul.
I know. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, home teams getting 4 more points off home losses by more than 30. They've covered the spread 63% since 1990. Do you know how many times a team has been a double-digit home dog versus a team that didn't have a winning record? I mean, not many. I'll take the 10 points with Charlotte.
Devon.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to take the 10 points with Charlotte, and I like to play teams that come off a pounding like that on the next night with no rest. I like to do that, but just not in this case. You know, I just think it's a bad matchup for Charlotte, a team that really can't score versus a team that can't score. You know, so it's just one of those things where overall, I would like to take it, and I usually look towards those type of situations. But this Charlotte team, man, they're just a bad team, and no more Terry Rozier, who can't get buckets. You know, I don't know about these other guys. LaMelo Ball, you know, Miles Bridges, I don't know. Nah, not these guys.
Fair. Rod.
This is definitely. I'm not rushing to the window, but you look at the Jazz, and they just love to beat up on these bad teams. But I think that line's gone too far now, way too far. You can get 10. I would lay it. Hold your nose, lay it with Charlotte. I think the Jazz win by like 6, because I think this is what that line should be, 6, 7 at best. We know what the Jazz are like on the road. They're not big cover machines. And are they really looking to blow the doors off the Hornets in the second half of a back-to-back? How much motivation they got? I think they try to cruise a little, and the Hornets might catch them a little bit flat-footed early in this one. I'm going to take the points. I'm looking out. Hold my nose and take the Hornets plus the points.
All right, next game up, we have the Pelicans and the Timberwolves. I'm sorry. No. We have the Pelicans and the Milwaukee Bucks. It's been one of those mornings. Pelicans. Both teams are on the back end of a back-to-back. Both lost yesterday. Pelicans got their doors blown off. I had Oklahoma City yesterday. That should have been the play of the day. I don't know what I was thinking. It was a layup, and I knew it. The Thunder are just one of the best teams in the league, and they just continuously get disrespected, and it just don't make no sense. That's why they're the best ATS team in basketball, because they're undervalued, and that's the reason why Milwaukee is so bad against the number, because they're just overvalued. I usually only like betting the Pelicans at home. They are coming off a pretty significant homestand, but I just think this game is a come down to the wire style game, and I want the points in my back pocket. I can make the argument the Pelicans win this basketball game. Milwaukee hasn't done a whole lot of losing. Only 14 losses on the season, but I'm gonna attack the plus money here, or just take the points with the Pelicans. I think they match up well with Milwaukee. So I'm gonna take the Pelicans here. Mitch.
I'm taking the Pelicans as well. Just not seeing it here with the Bucks. I've been anti-Buck for quite some time, so I'm gonna go with the Pelicans here. I don't love this game. It's not one of my top plays, but I like it. I like it better than that Rockets Nets game. That's for sure.
Guys.
Yeah, I'm on the Pelicans in this one. I'm going to wait to see if Zion's going to play or not, but just seeing that game last night, I don't expect 4 makes. I mean, so in yesterday's game, you had Ingram was 5 for 9. I mean, a lot of the players were rested toward the end of the game because they were just getting blown out. You're not going to see McCollum only make 4 shots. Ingram 5 for 9. I mean, he didn't even really take any shots. So I don't see that happening again. And especially they just got blown out. It's a typical rebound spot for them. I'm going to wait till post to see if Zion plays or not, but I'll take the points in my back pocket. Just Milwaukee's not a team that's blowing out everybody. They're not blowing out anybody. Now they do have those occasional games where they do, but I just like the matchup, but I'm going to wait to see if Zion plays or not before I bet this game, but he's questionable right now with the foot. I'm going to wait till post, but for right now, I'm definitely leaning to the Pelicans plus the points.
David.
Yeah, I think I'm with the Pelicans. The Bucks. I was on the Bucks last night. They looked horrible, especially the end of the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter. They let the Cavs just pull away. But on the other side, you got New Orleans. And I don't know the stat on this, but when was the last time an NBA team didn't score 25 points in any quarter in a game? Like that's wild.
Pacific against the same Aries on Thursday.
But in today's NBA with the scoring for the Pelicans, I know they played the Thunder, but the Pelicans, they scored 24, 17, 23, and 19 points in the 4 quarters yesterday. I mean, I'm going to take the Pelicans because
I bet it was the Celtics against the Heat in Game 7 last year.
Didn't the Trailblazers get 68 or something like that earlier this year? Like, didn't they lose like 118-68, something like that?
that sounds right.
I bet you that Celtics Heat Game 7 of the Eastern
No,
Conference.
this one's for Al. Al, has there been a college basketball game where a team has scored less than what
Celtics had 18 points in the fourth quarter of the.
I can't hear Kossy's question.
So if, let's say you're getting plus 28 points and you only score 27 for the game.
Well, they were getting 27, but they were getting 27 and they scored 20. Yes, it's been done. 100%.
It's been done.
Sure. Because you've had teams getting 35 to 40 that scored under that.
But under 30, if they're getting under 30 and they don't get under 30. Is that possible?
Yeah, I'll look at that.
You don't have to do it for I bet you don't have to do it. I just thought of something off the top of your head.
Yeah.
Celtics had 15 in the first quarter and 18 in the fourth quarter in that gem against the Heat. Game 7 with the chips on the table at home as a 7.5-point favorite.
What you like hearing this one, Big Al?
I mean, it's hard to pass up New Orleans here. New Orleans on the road is covering the spread by an average of 6.95 points per game. Milwaukee at home failing to cover the spread by 2.06 points per game for a differential of minus 9.01 for Milwaukee. Yeah, I'll take the points with New Orleans.
Javon.
I'm on New Orleans. I would like it a lot better if I knew Zion was playing, but yeah, I'm gonna continue to fade Milwaukee till the wheels fall off. It's really that simple. You look at their team, the way it's constructed, they really don't have the pieces as far as their whole roster to blow out anybody. Well, to consistently cover spreads, and the proof is in the pudding. They haven't covered spreads. Yeah, they'll win, but they just won't cover. And their defense is just god awful. So it just goes to show you, maybe they should have kept Mike Budenholzer, as a coach. So,
do you think Doc Rivers will change anything for this team?
Not really.
They're going to get worse.
They're not going to get worse. But they're, listen, it's their personnel more than anything. The players win championships. It is what it is. Now the coaches, they can, put them in certain sets in the NBA at least, to put them in certain sets to where putting them in certain positions and have them play more team oriented defense. What am I trying to say? To shield certain guys that don't play defense on the court, to shield them, and play better help defense is what I'm trying to say. So that's what happened in Boston back in the days, when they brought Garnett in. That team just like that, came with a defense that was out of this world. So if you have, and it really is the effort thing as far as defense goes, and they're not showing the effort at all. They're going through the motions. So I don't think that Doc Rivers is going to change that. I think they're going to get scored upon basically every game. You see it with good teams, you see it with bad teams against the Bucks. They score against these guys. So, they don't have the pieces. They don't have a Drew Holiday that's going to man up and, play a center or whatever, man up against the center. They got Damian Lillard, who you could blow past, so. And they're getting a little bit long in the tooth. And their second unit is god awful.
Right.
Now for me, this one is pretty easy. I'm going to take the Bucks in the first quarter. They beat in the first quarter 8 straight versus the Pelicans. Bucks in the first half because they come out and they played good in the first quarter, first half, and then they just try to hit the coast button or something and try to cruise to a win, and then they fail to cover. So I'm going to take the Bucks in the first quarter, first half, and then give me the Pelicans plus the points full game.
All right, fellas. Next game up, we have the Timberwolves and the Spurs. Rod, I'll come back to you.
Well, I mean, look at this one, right? You're definitely not rushing the winner to bet this one. House of disappointment. Up nicely that last time out and almost lose that game to Brooklyn. And now coming against the Spurs and laying 10.5. No thanks. Give me the Spurs here plus the 10.5. I think Minnesota probably wins it, but the Spurs can cover that giant 10.5.
Javon.
Yeah, this is one of those teams where came out guns blazing, playing defense in the beginning of the season. Now it seems like there's something wrong with this team, almost losing to the Nets, losing another game to
the Hornets. That was disgusting. That was disgusting. That Hornets
to Washington. You know what I'm saying?
They haven't been hooping in like a week. It started with like Mitch said, it started with them Anthony Edwards missed free throws. That's where it started.
Yeah, I mean, hey, fair to say, but you got a Spurs team. Say what you want about them, but they're playing hard. They're covering games, and that's the spot where I want to be. Even if they do get blown out, more times than not, I'll roll with the team who's playing with a little bit more cohesion and playing with more effort.
Big Al, your guys.
Yeah, I was just looking up what Costi was asking about. There was one game that was close. Long Beach State lost 49-29 to UNLV as a 28-point underdog. So that was the closest we came.
What up, BT?
Sorry, Al. Didn't mean to stump you.
Yeah, I mean, there's been non-line games like what do you call it? Oak Hills Christian got 14 points in a 108-14 loss to North Dakota State. I mean, there are games like that, but let's see if that's the lowest score.
Why were they only getting 14 points?
I mean, Champion Baptist scored 12 points in a 116-12 loss to Southern.
I think we were on that team.
You had Champion Baptist?
No, I played on that team.
You did. Oh, you did.
He wore his Mitchie Mambas.
God. Anyway.
Thank you. I was just wondering. You're the only one that could obtain that. So
I've been to some of the biggest blowouts like in history. I've been to one of them.
Yeah. So, oh gosh, this game. Spurs against the Timberwolves. Oh God. I mean, Spurs don't play defense. Timberwolves do. I guess you got to take the Timberwolves.
What? Not taking the Wimbies?
I mean, Jesus, they're horrible. I mean, do you realize how bad San Antonio is? Do you realize that Wemby is the only guy on the team in the top 70 in player efficiency rating? He's the only Spur in the top 70. I think actually Devin Vassell might be in the 120s. Let's see where he is. It may be that he's the only Spur in the top 120. That's how bad. I mean, Wemby's by far the best player on the team, and he's so raw. So they're a horrible team.
They are.
With Minnesota.
David.
Yeah, they're certainly not good, but I'm going to take the Spurs in the points here. They've kept it close. I know the two recent matchups aren't super recent, December 6th and November 10th, but lost by 7, lost by 8. The Spurs have done a decent job covering this year. I know they're getting some big numbers. They're almost 500 covering, and the Timberwolves coming off that win, but disappointing, almost collapse. So I'll take the points with the Spurs.
Costa.
Yeah, I'm on the Spurs as well. I like the points here. And regardless how bad their efficiency is and how bad they've been playing, they still score enough points to make it close to couple double-digit numbers, and they're playing at home, and they've been playing well. They've covered 4 of their last 5. They did get blown out at home versus Oklahoma City, but who doesn't?
Well,
Oklahoma
Trey Jones didn't play in that game.
Well, that gives me even more reason to take the Spurs getting 10.5 at home. I don't love it. I can make a case for both sides, but because we break down every game, but I have to lean toward the Spurs in this one.
Mitch.
I always fade the Spurs, so why would I get off the train now? I'm taking the Spurs in this one. I understand what happened in Brooklyn with the Timberwolves and everything, but the Spurs are even worse than the Nets. I'm going to take the. I'm taking the House of Disappointment.
I'm taking the Spurs. I'm not taking the House of Disappointment. I love fading the House of Disappointment. They're named the House of Disappointment for a reason. When they're supposed to blow somebody out, they never do. They never do. And Spurs are hoping, bro. Like Jovan, I think Jovan.
Yeah, they have a number of ways they let people down. It's not just when they're supposed to blow people out.
Yeah, I know they do.
They've got the catalog.
They do have the catalog. You're right. Mm-hmm. But that's my favorite one of the letdowns. Is what I say. Is when it just looks too good. Like, all right, like even in this spot, I could come here and say Timberwolves, perfect bounce back spot, two struggle spots. They're head and shoulders a better team. This should be a game where they beat up on a bad team, but they haven't beat up on the Spurs in the 2 meetings this season. Both were single-digit wins.
Let me also, guys, just for what it's worth, because it is a back-to-back, Wemby won't be playing tonight.
Ooh.
Right? I mean, like they've been resting him on every back-to-back, so just FYI.
Still not on the injury report, but
not on the injury report. But unless the doctors may have cleared him, so he might be, But that it's possible that that he's now eligible to be playing on back-to-backs, but they had held him out for a while.
It is Saturday, the land of roster manipulation in the NBA. Still lean Spurs, but next game up, Lake Show and the Warriors.
Oh, yeah. 2 days ago, Greg Popovich confirmed that Wemby is now set to play in back-to-back games again.
For sure. So Wemby's in.
Thanks for that, Al. Good information. It's good.
Warriors, Lakers. G-Dub. Laying 1.5. Mitch.
Taking the Warriors in this one. I don't know, man. We saw Steph Curry fumbling around on the ground against the Kings the other night as a home dog. I mean, yeah, the Kings as a road favorite, of course, not covering the points, but winning the game. But I mean, how many times have you seen Steph fumbling around? It was like so weird. It was like watching the game in the fourth quarter. I didn't even think he was playing. It was like he was just a non-existent. Well, we know he shows up for these games. LeBron will show up too. This is going to be a good one. I'm going to take the Warriors though at home.
Costa.
This is not the same Warriors home team that we've seen in years past. They're a much better road team than a home team this year, statistically.
It's not the same Warriors team, period.
In general, but yeah, the flip from last year.
Yeah. But I mean,
they were much better at home versus the road. Now they're better this year alone.
Yeah.
They're not holding the house down. I mean, that was a huge home court advantage for all those Warrior years when they were dominant. And I think I just like the Lakers in the spot. They're finally playing their guys. LeBron's been back for a few games. I think just the last game, right? He came back, was his first game back. I'll take the Lakers here, grabbing the 1.5. They win the game outright. Haven't been a great road team this year, but they're going to get up for this game. Anytime LeBron can go up against Curry, he's gonna play his best ball. So I like the Lakers here.
There's only 3 people I know that cover every single NBA game in video form every day. Me, Mitch, and Ruffalo. It's coming. Chill. My God.
You're lazy with those videos, Jay. You're lazy, man. do a 2.5 hour live show, cover every game on the board. It's like, you're lazy, man.
Chill, bro.
Lazy. You get your premium picks. You got, what's it called? The All Access Club. It's like doing other people's shows. He's tweeting at the same time. Like, too much, man.
Let's go, my man. Chill.
Seriously.
But David, Warriors Lakers.
Lazy.
Yeah, this should be a great game. I don't have a great feeling about either side, to be honest. The Warriors at home have been pretty poor against the spread. Lakers on the road, pretty poor against the spread. But we know both teams will be up for this matchup. I do think LeBron, he loves these spots. And just Golden State, 3 games ago they lost on the road against Memphis. They looked horrible doing it. And the Warriors have burned, not so much lately. They've burned me so much earlier in the season when I was still banking off that home court advantage from last year. Put a sour taste in my mouth. So I guess I'll take the Lakers here, but not a strong opinion really.
The Lake Show. Big Al.
Oh, do you remember that Friday show we did at the start of the season where I gave out Sacramento and went against when I took Golden State on the road at Sacramento, and I had that one stat for you?
Faintly.
Remember that?
Faintly.
Okay, I'm gonna use it again. The Warriors are 127 and 71 ATS if they are off a loss, their opponent is off a win, and the Warriors are not a road favorite. So here, of course, they're a home favorite. I'll take the Warriors.
Jovan.
Yeah, I'm on the Warriors. It's a lean at best. It's just a situation where, they should have won that game against some sack. But, it is what it is. Those two teams, they playing one point games the last 3 games, so it wasn't surprised. But in this one, like I said last week, when in doubt, I'm fading the Lakers. Is really what it boils down to. And with the time is now with the Warriors if they want to, do something with this season, So I kind of expect them to go on a mini run, So that game that they dropped last game, it kind of hurt because I was expecting them, going that run. So
both teams, though, I would say I agree with what you're saying, but the Lakers are in the exact same boat too.
No, they are. But hey, like I said, when in doubt, yeah.
I get it. I got you.
I also, when in doubt in the middle of the afternoon, go against the Lakers because there's always a chance that Davis or LeBron will be out with injury.
Day-to-day Davis and day-to-day James. All right.
I mean, this is a revenge spot for the Warriors, right? This first meeting of the year between these two. And the Lakers got the win in last year in the playoffs. And you figure the Warriors step up. But the problem is, this is the 3rd game in 4 nights for the Warriors. This is a really tough schedule spot. Give me the Lakers on the money line. I think Lakers have just a little bit more rest advantage. And the Warriors, I'm sure, would love to come in and beat up on the Lakers and get the win. I just don't think they got enough to do it. Give me the Lakers.
I'm not overly in love with this game. I'm not overly in love with this NBA card today. I'm just not. But I'm gonna lean towards
even the Clippers.
Hey, Boston gonna blow their doors off, but I'm gonna lean towards Golden State in this one. I am. Jovan hit the note on the head. Like they and the Lakers do too, but Golden State has to start winning, and like they have to. They're 4 games under 500, and if they can't start getting it done at home, then it's not going to get done. It's just not going to get done. So it's like, I think they're going to go on a run too. They have to. This is the Warriors, bro. I lean their direction. It's LeBron James and it's LeBron. The GOAT.
Not the same team, like Al said. It's not the same team.
Not the same team. But
older. They didn't improve where they should. They failed at drafting, and this is where they are. They lost.
That's how you land on the Bucks on a Friday night against the Cavs. I mean, it's Same thought process right there. That's how you land right there. Yeah.
Last game of the NBA. We got the Sacramento Kings rolling into Dallas, man, where mama, there goes that man off the 73-point game last night. Hey, I don't care what y'all saying. I don't care what nobody's saying. I'm taking the Mavs. And I might go again tonight just because I got to get a win somewhere. Like, god damn, I'd have been to the last
Kyrie
two.
playing?
I'd have been to the last two. Kyrie is just game time decision. We won't know until later on today.
Yeah, Jay, if you end up going, let me know so I can take the other side.
Hey, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Dave.
Yeah, Jay, if you go, I'm not. Your record is 1-3. 1-3 this year.
But like Mitch said, I went through the same stretch.
But small sample size.
I went through
at least 20 games.
I went through this exact same stretch with the Rangers early this season where I was going and they just could not get a win. I think I was like 0-6 for a certain period. And we won the World Series. So.
And what happened? You stopped going. They won the World Series?
I didn't stop.
He went.
I went. They just kind of turned the tide.
He went. Andrew Heaney picked up his numbers. What they did is they went to the quick hook on Heaney. That's what happened. It's like whenever he was in any kind of trouble, even if it was like the third inning. It's like he's not going to get decisions. Like third inning.
I can't wait for baseball, man. I'm excited for baseball. But tonight,
I like the new baseball, man. It's way better than the old baseball. If
It's
that's
fun.
one sport that made changes that made the game better, not like the NFL, like way better. Man. The game is way, way, way better in baseball. Like if you're sitting there and doing those things that make the game unwatchable, it's a strike. I don't care. Or if you're a pitcher, it's a ball. It's like we're not playing. You know, and then all of a sudden, when it starts working against them, all of a sudden the game starts moving. The games are like 2.5 hours now, 2 hours and 45 minutes. They were like 5 hours, man. Like a 4-3 game was like 5 hours. They change pitchers like every batter, man. It's like Tony La Russa ruined the game.
Yep, Mavs home dog for me. Of course, I hope Derek Jones and Kyrie play, but when Luka's in that mode, he usually stays in that mode for quite a while. He kind of just lives in that realm. And they've been doing my guy bad all week. They've been talking bad about him all week here in Dallas. So it was needed. He comes home today and gets it done. Or at least I hope. Mavs for me. Mitch.
Costi, you got a pen? Write this down in your list. Take out your binder and put this one in there.
Yeah,
Keep it.
I'll do it.
Don't tell anyone.
Right.
Don't tell anyone. Keep this one to yourself. It's top secret information. When the Kings are favored, take the other team. If they are a road dog, take them every single time. If they are favored,
It's a lot to write. I only have a hand. I can't
you need the dictaphone. Take the other team. It's like if the Kings are road favorites, take the other team 100% of the time. The Kings, and throw in that if they're playing a team in the Southwest, also take the other team. 0-8 against the number in their last 8 against the Southwest as favorites, of course, because they never cover as favorites against anybody, man. They're the worst favorite team out there. Taking the Mavericks, man. And I think in this one, we're going to get value on the Mavericks. Like, oh, it's a letdown spot after Luka. Luka's never had a letdown. But he's only going to score 52. Oh, it's a real letdown. What was the game where they just decided not to cover him at the end of the game? What was that game earlier this season? It was like, what a stupid idea that was. They let him hit the step back on him. I think it was against the Spurs. Against Wemby, right? And then Wemby wouldn't even shake his hand after the game. He went running into the locker room, and they left Luka open in the last 3 minutes of the game and let him have a shoot around. Oh, man, that was ugly. It was like they covered. It was like everyone's all over the Spurs. Like, oh, they got Wemby, whatever. It's like, oh, yeah. They decided to leave Luka wide open in the last 3 or 4 minutes. I think it was the first game of the season. It was up there. And then he took Wemby, he just ran into the locker room. He didn't even like after the game, the guys like hug, and LeBron usually whispers something into their ears, you're going to be really good, man. Someday you're going to have better taste in this, man. But Wemby, he just ran into the locker room. He didn't even acknowledge that Luka schooled him. Which is why we have no respect for Wemby at all. That and punching Britney Spears. Tough guy. Hit me, baby, one more time.
What you think here, Costi?
I'm on the Mavs here. I like them on the money line. There's no better recipe in the NBA is to come off a win against the Atlanta Hawks. You have the ultimate confidence in the world, and you come home and you get to play after the 73-point game. And yes, in normal spots, a big letdown, like with Embiid, they had a letdown the following game because you're not going to get the same points, but it's different for Luka. He's got the legs and he's got the energy to be able to do it again, where I feel like Embiid burns out. He's just too big of a player the way he has to create his points. So I'm going to take the Mavericks on the money line here. Don't even need the points in my back pocket. I think they get the job done. Hopefully Kyrie plays. If he plays, I feel even more confident on it, but I think the line will be adjusted to like 1.5. But yeah, I like the Mavericks here. I think it's already cooked in there with Kyrie and his injury designation. So give me the Mavs on the money line.
David.
I'm going Dallas as well. And I am actually rooting for Kyrie to sit this one out so we can see Luka just hoist continuously and see what he can put up. But
it'll be the guy from Michigan. Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember his name. That's who it will be.
Hardaway?
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie. Last 2 home games, Hardaway been cooking. Hardaway, bro. Oof. I hate Hardaway when he off, but when he on, I say it all the time. When Hardaway on, you swear to God, he might be the best player in the NBA.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a stretch, but I get it.
No, it's not. You got to be in the building to see the bullshit he be shooting, and he be going in. You be like, oh my God.
When he's in the NBA, of course, all those guys could shoot. It's just, can they shoot consistently game after game?
No,
that's the difference.
The thing is you gotta. It's not that you gotta have the confidence to shoot some of this shit. Like you gotta know that you can make this shit to shoot some of the shit he shoot. Hardaway will catch the ball, look you in the eye, and then pull up. Oh man, Big Al, you rocking with my Mavs tonight?
No chance. I don't want any part of the Mavs. Unrested home team off an upset win. Now playing a rested opponent off back-to-back wins. That's not a good setup. I'll take. Yeah, I'm going to go against them. What is it? -3. Yeah, I'll lay the points a second, man.
Jovan.
Yeah, I'm on over in this one. Give up all those points last night against the Kings team that could score. Yeah, I could see the same thing happening. Of course, they're gonna score too, so I'm on over. Both teams will put up $125 plus. The refs will give them a bunch of chances at the free throw line. Disgusting display of basketball that we have here in the NBA nowadays. All offense, no defense. Looking like half the game's looking like an all-star game.
I'm kind of mad at there's no defense being played in the NBA statement. Can I not make the argument that the players have just gotten better and that the offensive game is
No.
I can't. When's the last time you guys have been to a middle school game or a high school game? When's the last time?
I was in middle
It's been a
school. I
long
was in high
time.
school.
Hold on. The reason I say that is I was just at one the other day and I was astonished. Bro, the game of basketball is just at a totally different place than it was 20 years ago.
What was the point spread?
I'm just saying. The game of the kids nowadays, bro, they're just better. Like they just have more access to materials. Like the game is just in a different place.
Jay, they
different
changed the rules. You know, it has nothing to do
What
with
rule?
athletes.
What rule? The hand
Yeah,
check?
all the defensive rules.
All the defensive rules.
I'm not going for that, y'all. I'm not, and I will.
It's the same thing in football. Same thing in football, man. All the defensive rules changed.
Dominique Wilkins is not Devin Booker. Like,
They're
you know
different
what I
players.
mean? But I'm saying though, like, you could take anybody from back then, and I can name you, and they're not Tim Hardaway Jr. is what I'm saying. Like, the game is just different, and offense is just at that.
Larry
point.
Bird would be lighting these guys up.
Let me put it to you like this. Let me put it to you
Lighting
like
them
this.
up.
The other day, when they were doing the All-Star thing, Luka was in the TNT studio standing next to Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley is 6'6", and he was arguably the most dominant power forward of his generation.
No, not even close.
Yes, he was. Yes,
Not
he was.
even close.
He was that
According
damn
to
good.
who? Him?
I'm just saying.
How many rings did he win?
I'm just Mitch.
The same as Karl Malone, who was like the best,
The most
forward.
dominating power forward was Karl Malone.
Him and Luka were standing shoulder to shoulder. Luka is a 6'7" point guard.
Charles Barkley was his positioning of how to grab boards was by far one of the best at his size. Didn't matter about his size. He was still effective.
But what I'm saying is the game is just evolved.
That's a different argument.
You got 7-3 and
I agree with that. It's a different argument.
You got
It really
7-3 and Embiid. You got 7-3 Embiid tween. Like, you can't guard that. There's no guarding it. Like, is what I'm saying.
If they won't let you guard it,
time to Kimbe, and I promise you, Embiid dropping 70 on him.
You put Kevin Garnett in his prime in front of Embiid.
I swear to God, Embiid will drop 50 on Kevin Garnett.
No,
Moses Malone would score 100 on these guys. 100 every night. They would have no defense whatsoever. They'd be crying like little girls. I'm telling you, man. He got the Rockets to the freaking NBA Finals, man, by himself. There's no chance, man.
And there's so much that goes into this argument. I love this argument. You also got the argument that they were coming down running sets. Let me throw this ball down here into the big, give him a few. We ain't doing that shit no more.
Moses Malone was the first player to go from high school to the NBA. He was the first guy.
It's a different pace of play, which causes more shots to be taken in a certain amount of time. Like, there's so many different reasons. Then the defense is not nearly what it was. Is all I'm saying. Like,
because even in the 80s, Bill Laimbeer would just throw you out of the way, man.
No.
You were allowed to.
Nurkic,
that Pistons team, if you scored 90 on them, man, you had a good night.
Is all I feel like Nurkic on the Suns, a middle of the road big, would dominate Laimbeer, like, in today's game. Like, is what I'm saying.
Maybe by today's rules, but if you put these guys in that rules, it would be a totally different story because
you can't
much more physical game.
Can you imagine Bruce Bowen trying to play today?
Bruce Bowen today would be Tim Hardaway Jr.
No, Bruce Bowen was the best defensive player
year
after year.
But I mean, he couldn't even play today.
He couldn't play. He wouldn't play now.
He couldn't play because he wouldn't be allowed to do any of the things that made him good.
Right.
The best defensive player was Cooper.
Yeah, but I mean, Bowen, Cooper, any of those, like,
I don't know, man.
The best clutch player who could definitely play today was Robert Horry.
Well, he plays anywhere. It doesn't matter. Any team, you put him in there, Big Shot Bob was always there.
I just think and I'll shut up. I just think the players in the NBA are better. I think
they play by different rules.
And I agree. Rules are catered to them a little bit.
So are you saying, hold on, in the NFL, which is another game which has been drastically changed by rules, that Matthew Stafford and Drew Brees are better than like Dan Marino, Brett Favre, and those guys? Oh my God. No, you clearly didn't see them play. You clearly didn't see them play.
Yes.
No.
You guys fail to realize the evolution of the game. Everything gets better as time goes along.
But Dan Marino has a quicker release than any of these guys. He has a quicker release than anybody that plays today.
All of that. You know what I mean?
He still has a quicker release than anyone that plays today.
Anybody else?
I think, Jay, for the NBA,
he still throws a better ball than anybody that plays today.
the international part has become better because there's more access internationally than we did in the 80s and the 90s for the NBA. So that's solid. Yes, the international players have definitely been better. But outside of that, it's just a different argument. It's not, you can't compare the two.
I don't know, man. I don't.
But regardless, you have to admit the defense is less intense than it was.
It's less intense.
yeah.
It's not even close.
It's not even close because
It's not even close, man.
The NBA went to more scoring. We wanted more scoring.
Look at the Pistons scores in those championship years with Rodman and in those years. Look at the scores of their games. If you scored 95 points on them, man, you were bruised, man. It was
Even
like
the Pistons with Ben Wallace, the Pistons with Ben Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups.
Yeah.
They were just.
I'm talking about the
bodying you
bad
up.
boys Pistons.
I don't
bad
see
boys
the game.
Pistons.
I don't see the game. You
Joe
wait,
Dumars.
I
Joe
see it.
Dumars.
Every
Isaiah
Michael
guys,
Jordan
man.
highlight, every Michael Jordan highlight I see, he's on the wing 1-on-1. I swear to God.
The guy did everything.
Go watch.
You
Go
can't-
watch those.
Go watch a
Bulls
game.
Knicks
Swear to God.
games.
Every
Go
highlight
watch
I
a
see
game.
Michael Jordan, he on the wing. No, 4 guys are over there. This is the defense that y'all want.
But
4
you're
guys
looking at
over
the
there.
highlight.
Leave me alone.
You're
We're
not
gonna
looking
play
at the
one-on-one
game.
right here. We're gonna play
You're looking at a
one-on-one right here.
highlight.
Watch a
You're
Jordan
not
game.
looking at the game.
That's not the
Yeah.
NBA no more. It's just not the NBA no more.
That's not. But you're looking at a highlight, not the game.
No.
You know.
I'm telling you, that's what it was. That's what I'm telling
You're
you.
acting like Kiki Vanderway was the resistance, you know? It's like if you're only watching highlights, it's like you're watching Kiki Vanderway is the only player that played because everyone dunked on
his
him.
big ass wouldn't be able to sit right there in the paint and knock somebody out because you know why? Because we got fucking Karl Anthony Towns in the corner that'll knock your head off for 3. Like
You just proved our argument, Jay.
Jay,
Those guys
when
can't
you look
play
at the
the
old
game
game,
today.
there was no 3, man. There was no 3.
That's what I'm saying.
There was no 3.
Like that's what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying.
There was no 3.
Oh well. This is I get it.
A 24-second shot clock with no 3, man. It was a way different game.
I get it.
Imagine if you take the 3 out. There was no fluff shots like that. Everything was physical inside in the paint. Everything was like that. That's why, like
So
a
he
guy like
scored.
Gervin was just like next level, man, because he could make it look easy like
That's
that
what I'm
against that kind of
saying.
defense.
That doesn't make it better, but the offense has gotten better. You can't play that way no more because of space.
Because the rules.
Because
No,
the rules
because
have
of the
changed.
rules.
The rules have changed. No, not
Spacing.
spacing. The rules have
Spacing.
changed.
The rule-
It's spacing. I'm trying to tell you.
Because you have to guard the perimeter because of the 3-point
Yes,
line.
you have to
So
guard
it
the
creates
perimeter.
space for the guys.
But you didn't have to guard the 3. Your guy wasn't shooting
Correct. So
3s
Lemaire's
before.
not down there no more to knock you out. He's not down there no more. He's not there because he's in the corner. Because the guy in the corner will knock your head off. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm
You
trying
know who
to
could
tell you.
play in today's game, Jay? Pistol Pete will still shake you up.
Yeah, but he's not. Pistol Pete was a right-hand man. Like his skill level is not nearly of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is what I'm saying. Like the game has
What are you
evolutionized.
trying to say, Jay? Because he's white?
No,
Is that
I'm
what you're
not.
saying?
Like John Stockton, even the assist leader, he's not even Emmanuel Quickly. Like
Manuel,
If you
quick.
put- if you
Wow,
put
we-
the-
we're-
I think
we're-
I
we've
think
lost
I
it.
think
We've
if you put
lost
these
it.
guys in that NBA,
Tyrese Maxey.
you would see these guys get undressed, and I think if you put those guys in this
I don't
NBA,
know, man.
they would adjust their
don't
game
know.
to look to
That's
a totally different level.
That's just
I
my
think
thoughts. That's just my thoughts.
NBA was
Now-
this
now-
NBA.
now-
This NBA
now
has
here-
a lot more teams, which means it's
Here's
a
the flip
lot
side
more
of the
watered
coin.
down.
Here's the flip
That's all
side
it
of the
means.
coin, though. Here's the flip side of the coin. If we were able to go back and give these guys the same training, nutrition, all of that, and they had the same access to what the guys have now,
They'd be way better.
could they be what these guys are now? Definitely. But it's not even an argument, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but you haven't seen
the
both,
game
Jay,
has
so you don't
evolutionized.
really get an argument here because you haven't seen
telling you.
both. Only me and Big
telling you.
Al really have seen both, and then Costi probably has seen some, and Jovan, but
That's a
you
lie.
haven't
That's
seen both.
No,
So
I
how
have.
could you even have an
There's this-
opinion?
There's this thing called tape where you can go back and
Yeah, but
watch
you're
it.
only watching highlights. Are you watching
No.
complete games?
I don't have you can watch it in certain aspects. And what I'm telling you is
Watch an entire game. Just watch it.
Watch
entire
it.
game.
Watch an entire game. Watch the
Jay-
Celtics-Lakers series from '86 or something.
Jay, nobody is arguing that the athletes today are 10 times better than they were back then. That's not the issue. The issue is they played defense back then, and they were allowed to do things they're not allowed to do right now. That's the issue.
It was a way more physical game, man.
They can't do it.
It was a
Well, they're
way
not
more
allowed
physical
to.
game.
They're not allowed.
It's
They're
what
not
they
allowed.
can.
They're not allowed to.
Like
They're
you
not
get
allowed to.
if
It's
you
what
went
they
into the
can.
lane, you would get a
They can do
forearm
it.
shiver.
Yeah.
Yes, Big Al, but he's not there no more. The guy in the NBA could still forearm shiver you if you were there now, but he's not there because he's in the corner.
They can't do it. They can't do it now. They get called for a foul.
They're not allowed to.
Well, that's
They're not allowed to.
They have this. They have the zone, right? They tape it off, man.
Like
you
these
can't
days,
stand
they
here,
get-
man, because someone got killed here before. It's like they basically have the body taped out around it. You know, it's like what they have.
that's like one of the reasons I can't stand watching the game today is because it's all 3-point shots and unmolested layups. Like they just drive up and they take literally there's no one even guards layups. It's horrible.
You know what they can do? Parlay time.
Fair. I love that.
14-game hockey. 14
I'll
game
argue
hockey.
that argument every day. I will.
Jay, I respect you battling. I respect you
Yeah, I
battling.
will. I'll argue that argument every day. All right. Let's go to hockey. Let's talk some hockey.
Let's not.
I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it, so we're just gonna gloss over it quickly.
I'm leaving.
See ya.
Do it quickly. We'll do it quickly.
What do you mean quickly? There's 13 hockey games.
Yeah, I'm out of here, man.
Good.
Come on.
I'm
I'm just gonna ask each one of you guys if you have anything in hockey. If you don't, we're just gonna move on. So, Mitch, you have anything in
No.
hockey? Costa, you got anything in hockey?
Mm-mm.
David,
Actually, 16 hockey games. Jesus.
No, this is like 14.
I got 5 premium plays in hockey, so I'm trying to find a.
That's good. 5 premiums.
Big Al, what you got in hockey?
I don't have anything, but I mean, with a gun to my head, I would take the Red Wings and go against, Golden Knights off the back-to-back.
Rod, I know I ain't gotta ask you, Jamar.
Which one do you want to know about?
Well, actually, I want to ask Rod something. Rod, what do you think the chances are that Edmonton wins 3 straight games to get the record?
I'm worried about today. I know the Oilers
Yeah.
in day games. I think they come out, but if you look the last couple, they haven't played so well. They've come out and they've not been had that same jump, and it's looking like they're looking forward to this All-Star break after today. In day games, ugh.
Yeah,
They haven't fared so well in day games. So winning 3 straight to you got to remember.
Did you see who
One
the
game
3
today?
games are against?
Yeah, the first one's against Nashville, right?
Yeah,
and
then
then
they
you got
play
a whole.
Vegas. Then I think they're at Vegas, and then they got an easy one. If they can survive those 2, they get an easy one after the break. Like I think it's on February 6th or something. It's
Yeah, like this is their last one before the break, and then they come out of the break and they had to play Vegas. Like that's tough.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a tough game. You know that they're gonna looking for some revenge against Vegas. That's for sure. So I would think
I'd like to at least see them get by this one, just so we have the game to tie the streak against Vegas. That'd be fun.
against Vegas. Yeah, exactly right. I think they win today. As much as they come out slow, and everybody thinks, I don't think they come out slow today. And the way Skinner's playing, he's been the best goalie in the NHL since way back to Remembrance Day. Playing lights out hockey in goal has been Skinner. But for me today, you know what? We're going to the revenge game, and we're going to take the Winnipeg Jets over the Leafs. You look at that game they just played the other day, and Samsonov still in his head. Do I trust Samsonov to stand on his head again? No. They sent him down to the AHL. He had one good season, one good game. I don't see it too. Give me the Jets in that one. Jets are also getting healthier. They're getting Velarde should be back for the Jets. It'll be Hellebuck in goal, not Boussois in that one. Boussois still on his head, played good. The Jets at home. I like the Jets in that one. And of course, I'm going to take the homer play. I like the Oilers on the puck line. And then go check out that parlay. We've hit 4-6. It's archived. Check it out.
All righty. Mitch. Parlay and what you settling today?
Wake up, Mitch.
I got picks for sale. I'm taking the Clippers on the money line. I'm taking the Mavericks on the money line with the Clippers on the money line, and I'll put that with Kansas on the money line.
Costa, what you selling today? Or never mind. What you got? Parlay.
I'm selling the opportunity to work with some sharp groups. It's really more a consultation, nothing you have to buy. We'll see if it's for you. Eric and myself manage the 2 different all accesses, one for Al McMorty, which is absolutely rolling in the last month. Jay Briggs, same thing, but just NBA. Al does college basketball, NBA. And for now, there's only a couple football games, so that's not really a factor, but there is a couple this weekend. But if you're looking to just do the regular standard sharp trading or dime club, which is very low volume outside of what Al does and what Jay does, go on over to pickdawgz.com, click the premium picks tab. You'll see sharp trading. My phone number is 775-636-7674. Shoot me a text, consultation. I'll just guide you. If it's not for you, I'll let you know, and you'll just tag up one of the great handicappers that we have on here. Grab Jovan, grab Rod, grab David, or Mitch. Pair them together. Otherwise, go Ravens. Here's my parlay.
Chiefs, Clippers, and Chiefs.
Breathe.
Chiefs
My therapist tells me to breathe. Okay. Give me the Pelicans, money line. Mavericks, money line. Clippers, spread.
David, what you got for sale today, and parlay?
Yeah, I got 5 hockey plays, and wrapped up in a couple different packages. Got a handful of college basketball as well. Been hot in both of them. As far as a parlay goes, we'll go 3-teamer. We'll take the San Francisco Dons minus the 13.5. North Carolina minus the 6.5, and the Calgary Flames minus 1.5 on the ice.
Big Al McMorty.
I mean, it's like the biggest card ever. Oh, Walter wants me to take some underdogs. Let's see. Let's go back to hockey. What the hell? I'm going to take Nashville plus 1.5 goals. And I'll parlay Nashville plus 1.5 goals with the. Oh, hell. I'm just looking. I don't know. Just take Nashville. No parlay. I've got 14 basketball plays for sale. My SWAC game of the year, and my Horizon League game of the year, and my Big 12 game of the month.
There you go. Jovan, what you got for us today?
I got a few different packs, 3 packs, 5 packs, mostly college basketball, but I got some NBA also, which will be up available on the website momentarily. I got a 3-pack in that. In all, I got 19 plays. A couple of them already went by the wayside, but for the most part, most of everything's still in place. So get something long term. Got 19 college basketball plays and 4, or really now 3 additional NBA plays. So got a lot of action on the slate. Oh, and for a parlay, we got Winthrop, Murray State, and Northwestern.
Right.
And for me, over at the site, we got I got a college basketball 3-pack, which includes my 10-star play of the day in college basketball. I've got my NBA drop a dime play. I got my NHL sniper play, a few bonus plays for long-term subscribers, and I got a couple parlays. Go check out the hockey parlay. We've hit 4 of the last 6 on those. And then for here, we're gonna go with Texas Tech plus the points. We're gonna take the Washington Wizards plus the points and take G-Dub. Put them in there as well. 3-team.
There you go. I have a 3-pack in the NBA. I got my NBA play of the day. I have a 5-pack in college hoops. I think I have like 12 plays total for my long-term folks. So hop on something long-term. You can get every single play that I got today. So that's what I got for y'all boys. Parlay. Heat. Warriors. Celtics. Gonna blow the doors off the Clippers. Show,
Don't
folks.
hey, don't let this Pistons team get hot. They're off to a hot
They
start.
hooping right now. They hooping.
Burks is going off.
Right. So that's the show, fellas. We appreciate each and every one of y'all joining us. I will be working on the gym session as soon as I get off here, so y'all can leave me alone. Any other words for anybody else before we get out of here?
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
Starving.
Go Ravens. Make it a money-making Saturday so you could count your money tomorrow morning and watch my Ravens trample the Swifties.
Making a winning day. See y'all later. We're at it. Peace.